My name's Andy, Technical Breakdown Law, and welcome to Technical Breakdown LAWhammer. So, am I live? Can you see me? Are we wobbling around like strange ghosts as we were previously? If this is our first actual working part of the episode, then if you're watching us later, we have had a lot of problems this evening getting everything working. But we hope, we pray. Come on. Not Zeech. Ulrich? Sigmar?
I masked that
Zeech?
well.
I mean, Slanesh. Hopefully, all is good. That being the case, we were in the middle of doing our XP when we were rudely cut off by naughty PCs saying, "We don't like this, help!" That being the case, 110 XP each, and Alan and wife had said that she had successfully got your short-term goal, which gives you 50 XP. Would anyone like to take a new short-term goal while we're here? Yes!
I would like mine to go from the fan cut to finding out what would put the huntsman back into balance.
Oh, nice one. What will bring the huntsman into balance? Good one.
I'd like mine to be find Dagmar.
Find Dagmar?
Same as
And
Elric.
kill the huntsman.
No.
No, Elric was also going to find trying to find Dagmar.
Sounds perfect.
I'm sticking with dismember Dagmar when we get our hands on
Okay,
him.
dismember Dagmar with a stress on the member or a stress on the dis?
I'm not
Dis.
Particularly bothered which bits we chop
Dismember him.
off.
Yeah.
It's
He's
all
going to
good.
dismember.
Or
Yeah.
dismember him. How are you on yours?
Elf health book.
Elf, oh, that's a thing again. And
And mine is to return to the silver flame.
Return to the Silver Flame. Lovely. Okay, so I will take this moment to just briefly pause before we dive into the episode to make sure that everything is working out there.
Looks good.
If you're in the comments, please do drop a quick, I can hear you, I can see you, you don't look like some sort of strange fuzz thing, you definitely look like Andy. Because if that's the case, we're going to plow into the next episode. So, is it all working?
Wait for
So it
it.
doesn't matter about any of us, it's just if they can see you.
Yeah, totally.
Fair. I'm just naturally blurry.
We are perceivable. Everyone else get Dan except Dan. Dan looks rubbish.
Yeah.
Thanks, Hall.
So,
It's these upgraded cameras, damn it. Give me my dark corner back.
So, that being the case, I think we might finally be ready for episode number 46. These violet
Delight.
delights bring violet ends. Stories claim that Ulrich, jealous of his, now we cut the story here with a host of different potential words: brother, father, son. Each tale has a slightly different version. But jealous of Tal and the Tal Bastion down to the south, this great crater where Tal lived. He had an enormous home. And he went to Tal and went, "This is pretty unfortunate. Why don't I have something just like you?" According to this particular myth, Tal said, "It's all right. Hey, Ulrich, I'll give you a big mountain. What do you think? I have this awesome place in the very heart of my realm. You can pop over that mountain anytime you want, and anyone that wants to see you can find you there." And Ulrich said, "I quite like that. Let's go have a look." So Ulrich and Tal went up to what is now the Middle Mountains, and they found what would later be called the Fauschlag, the fifth strike. Because it was a mountain that reached to the very heavens itself, with only one larger, the Nordberg, in the very center of the Middle Mountains. A mountain so large it can be seen all around. And Ulrich looked at it and thought, I like the look of this particular mountain, but it could be better. Because Ulrich is Ulrich. It had exceedingly steep sides. And Ulrich hit it and sheared off the top, creating a flat surface where a temple could be raised to him. Supposedly, where the very first true temple of Ulrich was sited. This story has many variations, and each of you have heard it in slightly different versions through the course of your life. Elric has heard this tale several times. The Tulutans have told this tale almost since the foundation of Talabheim 2,500 years ago. The Tulutans version is very much Ulrich is the son of Tal. Very much. And he was like, all right, boy, there you go. Go have yourself a mountain to play with. And the dogs went and played in the north. That was their version. You heard a version at court. And at court, the Sigmarites told a tale of Ulrich, who was the brother of Tal. And the pair of them were basically bickering. And they actually fought over the mountain. And the shearing off had literally nothing to do with Ulrich going, I want to have a place for my people. It was very much a lolling strike of a back fist hit as the two brothers battled each other. Almost as if, where you were in Altdorf, they wanted to cast the Middenlanders and the Talabiclanders as people who squabble. They might very well be. You heard, when you were young, a completely different tale. The Fiststrike Mountain far, far to the north. In your versions was called the Ulrichsberg, and always had been called the Ulrichsberg, Ulrich's Mountain, and was there long before the Talbastan was ever found. According to the old tales that you were passed down, well, partly were passed down to you, particularly by your grandmother, the Fiststrike Mountain was turned into what it became due to anger. And Ulrich, after being told by the other gods that chaos had gone, took his anger out on that mountain because he didn't believe it. And while they went off and lived in paradise down in the south, Ulrich went to town on a mountain and marked it out as the bastion of the north for when the great Everwinter would come, Evernacht, the only safe place that would ever stand when finally winter came permanently to stop the north. Pretty depressing. You heard the same tale from Gerhard, because the tale that you got told was completely different. And Gerhard, being Gerhard, was like, no, you got told it wrong. It was actually it was actually quite different. Now, you got told in the orphanage that the Fiststrike was Ulrich fashioning a home for the Ulrichans in the north. That Tal was King Tal of the gods, but they were brothers. So Tal had supremacy over all the land and chose to give this piece of land. And that caused that land in particular and all the mountains around it to sink into far longer winters than there were before. That was his gift to Ulrich. And the story is, from your perspective, at least the way you were told it, largely as we opened with. But he contradicted it deeply. Birdie had a different tale. And Ulrich was very big. Ulrich said, I will make this mountain mine. So Ulrich walked to the mountain and hit it very, very hard. The top of the mountain fell off. Ulrich looked very happy. He climbed to the top and said, this mountain is mine.
Yeah.
It took you many months to learn to read that.
Yes, it did.
Yes, it
Worth
did.
it, though.
No
Very
mention
good
of
story.
Tal at all in your version. Alamena-White's tale is slightly different. Alamena-White's tale has no mention of Ulrich at all, but instead the son of Azurin, the wayward son of Azurin, who refused to follow orders. Mighty general at war who chose to take the mortal form of a man in rebellion. The story that she heard placed this god on this mountain. And according to her tales, it came to the very center of winter in the north. But the tales she heard, she doesn't quite recall, because it was right at the beginning when she had all of her memories taken in the first time and she was getting told what an elf was, the tales of the gods. And she came north and she asked, and none of them had heard that tale. She asked again, and none of them had heard that tale. She was left only with a half-caught memory. We all obviously have a different version, but what can be certain is that the Ulrichsburg has a flat top at the very top, and then it falls down from there. And if you look at it today, the temple is not at the top. At the top is the palace. Down is the temple. And further down yet is in other parts of the city. And then they spill over the edge, leaving what looks like a great towering city, although in truth, the top part is actually surprisingly flat. From there, the main causeways come off, and then much further down, you get the lower causeway that leads into the south of the city. Yes.
Is there anywhere in the surrounding geography that's supposed to be the tip that fell off?
No.
Okay.
No. And yeah, no obvious large chunk of stone sitting out at a nice angle.
With a fist print in it.
No.
Is there not something about the place of the Shining Rock being connected?
And there is lots of stories about the place of the Shining Rock. Indeed, one story of the place of the Shining Rock is that the very tip of the mountain is indeed the holy rock that sits there. If that's the case, it's a very, very, very long way away. But, you know, gods having fights or gods punching rocks, sure, it could be any of those things. That then leaves our party of glorious heroes who are about to do something that has been done multiple times in the past. Approximately once every other generation, one of the elector counts of Middenheim decides that this is the time they're going to clear the Ulrichsburg. This is the time they're going to go down into the warrens that sit beneath, and this is the time that they're going to map it, understand it, get into it, get what they want from it, or something similar. They have, over the course of the last 2,500 years, failed. Every single time. Because as time has passed, the upper levels have become a complete warren. Not just of the potential sewage put in place by the dwarves, and the sewers leading and connecting to a host of other passages and crevices, and then into the natural wells, and arguably dangerous wells that are making their way up, water pressure up in the inside of this particular mountain. None of you have got the necessary knowledge to understand how the water works here. None of you quite understand exactly what lays beneath here. So you're going to get no warning. But it isn't good. But one of the reasons that the wells of Middenheim work is also one of the reasons that it's very dangerous down below. Not just dangerous to our would-be adventurers who are about to enter into potential hell, potential not, without a guide this time. So it's just different. Just different. Now, if you intend to go to the Skaven Warrens, you do have someone who can take you there. But if you don't go in that direction, you're blind. That works better for some than for others. And you're not sure where to go. But you do have one potential route that might take you there, and that is blessings. in the loose hope that Sigmar will guide you.
Wait, before we do that, didn't Birdie leave markings last time we went down there?
We need to find our way back to where Magritte did the
Mhm.
ritual. But from there,
But
to the
there-
base of the
from
flame, I did mark the path.
Yes,
Okay, cool.
but getting to there is the big one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, that being the case, let us begin.
No pressure.
Inside the Ulrichsburg, we have been pushing our way down through a host of old, abandoned halls that are effectively the under catacombs that sit beneath the various shops, houses, buildings up above. Some of these are already well trod by sewerjacks, and indeed they have been led by one of the few remaining living sewerjacks down to the extent of their patrols. And their plan is to go down. And this particular open, dark alcove is known for going very deep. This is where Graf Heinrich says made his main assault down, lost 17,000 men, according to story. I mean, given that's more than probably City had, I think it might have been a bit of a lie. That were 400 year back. I don't even know how 17,000 men could even get down here. I mean, what were they ferrying in? Lifted or something. Anyway, they went down that way. We blocked this one off. But it just the roads on the other side and opens up again and closed, open up again. It's currently open. No one's shut this particular part. It's normally quiet, but occasionally you hear stirrings down below. Good luck with whatever your ventures are. From here on, you'll be climbing. Good luck. Good luck.
Thank you.
Nods. It's a grim business. Gods be with you. Says he looks at find the bastard who try and kill the Graf.
That's the plan.
We will.
And then that leaves you in a slightly uncomfortable. Okay. It's a big dark hole. I suppose we'll be going down there then.
Before we go, I should maybe check the signs.
Did we also want to use our question as to where's Marguerite? Because we couldn't do that last week.
Mm.
We could do. Let me just do my
Yeah.
little divination first of all. As he always starts himself by just getting a general divination.
Does that work down here?
We're not down anywhere yet.
Oh, you're half an hour down.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you're
but
not
we're not.
down.
Yeah.
I'm just
absolutely.
sort of pondering just because of the old flame and.
I mean, it works.
So while you're doing that,
Right.
can I also have you
Yeah.
please language quickest roll, which is for you
Fact.
native.
Just
You don't even need to roll.
Sorry.
That's how well you did. But if you do roll on 95, you can get a number of successes.
Just
But it means that you could possibly fumble. It's your choice.
yeah, I'll roll.
Good.
I have a fortune point. 7 successes.
Yeah. Here it's marked quite clearly in Queekish. Death, death, terror, terror, death.
Is that standard?
For places that Skaven don't want to go, yes.
Yeah.
So I critted the divination.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Not the augury. I haven't done that yet. But the divination.
Okay, what's a crit do in divination?
So a
Good
crit-
start, by the way.
I know. So crit divination gives me 2 divination rerolls rather than just 1.
Oh.
Nice.
And it gives me. Oh, fuck off. It gives me 2.
Oh yeah.
Certain
It's a Sigmar fuck off.
facts.
Of what's to come.
Yes.
Terror death.
That would be unfortunate.
You roll your bones. Clatter. And the bones fall in front of you. As you pray
Probably rolling them into his shield or something to stop.
and try to make sense of it all. And the shape is annoyingly circular. in that they all seem to land in loosely a circle. They're not equidistant, but they're in a circle. As you realize this means Moore's Leap. Moore's Leap. And looking in the center of it, yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where the dice are, and the other there. It's the extremities of a hand. Moore's Leap. Hand. And a guiding hand. So there's your divination.
Is that 2 facts?
It is.
So,
I mean, if you don't strike this conventional facts, but there we go.
Fake news.
so it's worth mentioning that the signs that I can read suggest that going this way is a terrible idea.
All right. I mean, sort of a varying level of terror. So one's
Terror, death. Terror, death? Was that the right order?
That'll do.
Right.
Well,
Okay,
could
well-
that be because people come down here this way rather than this?
Could be.
Could be.
also.
Could be something much worse. Hard to say.
I'd prefer to take terror over death
Well,
if
there's
given
both.
2. You know.
It's a 3 terror to 2 death ratio.
Right.
That's good odds.
Not bad. Yeah. Excellent odds
Ask the
actually.
doctor, he'll know.
Yeah, very good odds. Terror, please.
Death or
And did you got something?
I was wondering if I could, I don't know, do an intuition or something to see
What?
if the spirit is closer to here rather
What
than
spirit?
the one we know that's
the
down there.
huntsman.
So days away potentially,
Okay,
or
cool.
or
Good.
not, depending on how lost you are.
Hopefully.
You yeah, it's so far away. There's not even a glimmer.
Cool. Good.
Yeah, nothing to even roll for.
Good.
But,
I mean, it means that we don't.
you might fumble.
It's
you
behind
roll?
you.
Yeah, I'm stressed out, so that'll be fun. And that's 3 successes.
Yep. It's you sense nothing.
It's not-
Just as an aside, did we get some time to chill out so our stress points got
No.
reduced?
No,
So we're still maxed
if
out.
anything, you're more stressed than you were before. Because you're going down here. That's why you don't get time to chill out.
I like it down here. It's dark.
Yeah,
It's dark.
if anything, it's chill for her.
Not if she's going toward giant nasties.
It smells so mouldy and delicious.
Oh, that's actually fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I accept that. I'm actually going to let you lose 1 stress point.
Whee!
Um,
Nice.
400 years ago.
But only if someone else increases theirs by 1. Because clearly, you're fine, but they're not so.
I mean, mine's so high already.
No, well, I'll stick with what I've got and try
Okay,
not to
good.
go nuts.
400 years ago was just before the vampire wars, is that right? Graf Heinrich.
Lore history, anyone?
Yes.
Oh, as well. Yeah. No.
Come on, smart boy.
Yeah, it's 9 successes, but only 1 advance.
Yes, vampire wars are about that time.
Yes. Should be right.
Go on.
No, she's
No,
bang
go on. Tell us more.
Vampire Wars were about 400 years ago, which is, well, it's sort of 4 centuries, really. If you split that out into months. I actually...
You do not have any months or in a year.
No, I don't. I realised that as I've said it, just like, oh God.
Why are you also?
What?
Nothing.
Why are we not somber?
It's what you do. I
It's
remember.
it's a way to cope.
I remember.
Plus, we need to get it out of our system, so when we need to shut up later, it'll be easier.
It's called gallows humour. You'll see it a lot.
While they're chatting, Leopold will attempt an augury for this place.
Okay, what does his dead eye see?
Surely it's just bad.
Oh, it's almost another crit, but not quite. Like, loads of successes, but
Okay, this route is dangerous. Really dangerous.
really dangerous.
But I will also add, it's a route.
But it is a route. All right. I mean, it's the only route we have. So, okay. Well, the signs say it is dangerous, but that there is a way through.
All right.
You just have to be careful. One thing Birdie will do as we go along is mark the route. So if we have to backtrack or find our way back out this way,
Yeah.
we can follow
And I'm
the
He
assuming
route.
knows, just so you know, because you know, Skaven purposely destroy those. Purposely.
Yeah.
Because they're always trying to ruin someone else's route. Always. And they'll often mark them the opposite of what you did. A little bit like a Delbears or Delbrain
Yeah.
style. And that they won't purposely
It's like the
flip
bitted
them.
labyrinth when they keep moving
But
the
if
tiles.
it's really
Yeah,
high
what if
up.
Birdie's
That's
ones
only
are
a
really
Skaven.
high?
But
Yeah,
that's
I was
only a
gonna
Skaven.
say.
You put it on the ceiling.
Yeah, put it on the ceiling.
Yeah, as high as I can reach.
Yeah, I love it.
Out of eye line.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely
and
love
some-
it.
But also, Emmanuel will be taking
Yes,
notes,
she
yeah.
will.
Mm.
So, this is the moment before we head in. What do we look like? How much are we carrying? This is important because RPCs for almost the first time have properly tooled themselves up in the fear that they might get trapped down here. That being the case, let's go round. What sort of armour are you individually wearing? How do we appear? What do we look like? What special preparations have you possibly made? Are you bristling with weapons, or are you just carrying one or two key ones?
Alamanawith is wearing leathers, greens, browns, greys, her full array of scarves, black and red face paint all over her face. It kind of looks like someone's taken their hands and just clawed down her face, but when you look closely, they are actually runes. She's got barracool, a dagger, some throwing knives, about 30 arrows,
Bow?
her bow, yeah,
No, she just chucks
Spare
Um,
bowstrings.
a backpack, a bedroll, an adventuring kit. And yeah, she's pretty.
A royal adventuring kit, I
royal
believe.
adventuring
Yes,
kit.
quite.
Yeah, she's pretty well loaded.
Excellent. And, wow, if anyone's changed, it's Birdie.
So Birdie is no longer wearing that mismatched chainmail, rusty nonsense. She's now in full plate
Full plate.
with a full helm under her arm. I'm hoping I won't need it, but still. She's
Putting it on
Hmm.
will take so long that there's no point in taking it.
oh well.
So there's a question there. You either put it on and leave it open, which is potentially useful because bosh in your head, no bosh in your head. Or alternatively, you don't. Oh, the fight's going on. Oh, excuse me.
Wait!
Yeah, so there is a
Yeah.
potential downside to that. Does she intend to wear it, or does she intend to just have it under her arm or discard it? What's her plan?
If I've got the full face open, can I still hear?
Yeah, muffled, but yes.
Then yeah, as long as I can smell what's going on.
Oh yeah,
That's fine,
with
then
the
I'll
face
wear
open,
it.
you can definitely smell.
Yeah.
Defo.
I'll discard it if I need to, but
Visor up.
visor up.
Okay, lovely. Visor up. Hearing limited. Movement clanky.
But not as clanky as it could be.
That's
Thanks
very
to the
true
Knights
because
Panther.
cats. The Knights Panther do like to make sure that their armor is well padded to reduce as much of the clanking as possible, which makes them also quite good guards in the palace because they're much less noisy as they make their way from place to place. Nevertheless, it's still clank, clank, clank metal.
Yeah.
But the armor that they choose to wear is, generally speaking, a little lighter, a little more agile, and about 5 times the cost.
I'm
but
not paying for it, so
Knights
that's
Panther?
fine.
They're okay with that.
Yes.
Unlike most of the Knights Panther, though, her armor hasn't been lacquered blue or with gold trimmings. This is very much armor that has been given to her from the vast store that they have and given to fit.
She actually prefers that. It's much less gaudy and therefore.
Yeah, no, that's not going to last long.
No.
She has, however, given that she's got her helm, been given a Knights Panther pelt as well. So it's a Panther pelt, which goes over the helmet and across your shoulders. And that doesn't get replaced with a more fancy helm until you do a fancy kill when you're a knight. And until you reach that point, you just stick with the core Panther itself with its head sitting at the top of your
Do you think I could get
helmet.
Dagmar's head?
That would be, I think, hilarious. Particularly if on the spike.
Literally Dagmar's head.
So now, alongside shield, alongside sword, she is a literal knight. With her long white hair hanging down at the back, she could hardly look more different, particularly because it broadens her out as well, where beforehand she looked very much like a beanstalk. Very thin, more like a pole than a human sometimes. But once that's all been broadened out, she looks almost like a Hellstein or a Teutogen. Yeah, go figure. Hey,
Funny
Leopold,
that.
where are you?
So I guess probably looks less different than Birdie, but he is in
Pure.
full plate, not as impressive. A set of full plate, and it's seen signs of action, so probably a little dingled and scratched in places. He has his shield, he has his hammer out, and it's a new hammer. That
New
this
hammer.
side stream hasn't been shown yet.
No, it hasn't.
People out there don't know about,
Okay.
but it's a bigger, heftier, fancier looking.
Much bigger as well. So we can get an idea if I'm to stand up, which I think I can almost do inside the camera. It comes up to about there on me.
Nice.
It's a proper hafted hammer that obviously when I'm sitting down means nothing, but standing up is like up to there. And it's about up to there on him. And he's a good 6 foot stupid. Really big hammer with a mighty silver head, gold detailing down the length of it, and new. It's not new, it's worn leather, as I recall.
Yes.
Yeah, worn leather all the way down the haft, clearly been used, but the head itself, shiny silver and gold.
And as always, he's got his holy book attached on his belt, and he has a backpack on with some rope strapped around it and all various adventuring paraphernalia.
Lovely.
I should mention Birdie's also got a backpack. It looks ridiculous with the armour.
But an important component, you don't have your squire with you, which is, unfortunate.
Leopold does have, however, his novitiate with him.
Okay, so the novitiate, who is at the back also wearing a backpack and wearing the heavy black robes of a novitiate of the Temple of Sigmar in Middenheim. It's got white trimmings all around the edges with little white hammers on the heavy sleeves. Underneath that, it's relatively heavy, stocky leathers, giving her a far broader look than she probably deserves, because underneath it all, she's a relatively slight woman. As I recall, she's really not very tall beside you in the slightest.
I don't know.
Nobody is.
I don't know her
She's
height.
just about 5 foot tall. She's about 2 foot shorter than him. She is by far the shortest in the party by some significant measure. Yay!
No, wait. It's Drogo. Drogo's the short.
Oh,
yes,
oh.
that's the one important.
Let's get to that before we'll
I've
finish
got
off
two
with
hench
her.
people.
Her hair is caught in a bob
Hench
with
beings.
a fringe to the front, bangs if you prefer. Okay, cut short there, giving her far from what one might call a stylish look. And she's yet to have her hair cut to the sides because clearly she has not passed her novitiates yet. So she hasn't got the shaves to the sides of her head. She has a hammer which looks far too big in her hands. She's
Realistically, she probably doesn't have in her hands. It'll
probably
be strapped across her backpack because
so,
I think she'll have her.
yeah, she's going to have her book out because she's intending to take notes as they go. But the dawning realization has hit her, given that she's just moved through what the catacombs she's gone through, and she can't map it.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much, and she's already a bit concerned. Which is a nice time to bring it up after Drogo.
Also, Drago, the basilisk, who has
Drago, pardon. Yes.
who has in our recent adventures been chilling with Meat Pie in Schmiedhammer's house. Leopold has brought him with him this time, so he sits on sort of around Leopold's neck, kind of.
So our basilisk is a deep orangey red colour and has 6 limbs in 3 pairs with heavy armouring almost to the front of it and a very lizardine look to its broad front face. The armouring looks almost like there's small arms budding inside it, but not quite. It's an odd look to say the least. Scales go down from its large round eyes, which constantly flick around in the darkness and occasionally catch lantern light, unlike the very dead eyes sitting behind your blindfold, which catch nothing.
Or lack thereof.
Its tail wraps round the front of the gorget that sits to the front of your armor. Hey, Garhart.
So,
How
yes.
does he adventure?
So the good news is, back up to finery, no longer needing to appear as what one isn't. So he's washed out the hair dye, so we're back to normal, sort of dirty brown. Dirty brown. But it looks good. It's been like shampooed and stuff. So nice and buoyant. Soaped. Purple's back again.
Champagne and poo.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
either right. back up to the purples. Back on those, sort of just hints of it. Yeah, nice big hat, big feather
down your back.
Thank
Lovely.
you. However, slightly more practical this time. A leather jack, which is underneath a breastplate.
He's got an actual metal breastplate,
Good job.
which will have the stamp of the city of Middenheim sitting on the front of it.
Excellent.
Yeah. He'll be given one of the more impressive state army breastplates
Good to know.
that would normally have been reserved for a captain. And there is the Tower of Middenheim. There is the wolf. And slight tinting to it as well, with a little bit of blue and red.
Perfect. At one hip, the classic rapier. At the other hip, 2 pistols. Pouch and shot, obviously.
Hanging around.
As we
Bandolier
go
of some sort?
further down past the cockage area, we see leather leggings.
I think we need to dwell just for a moment upon the codpiece
Turn to
itself.
copies, fair
Yeah,
enough.
indeed, the wolf codpiece.
Zoom in.
Because we are, after all, in Middenheim, your own wolfy codpiece. But then let's move past that swiftly before Yume begins to blush.
Yeah, leather trousers or leggings, so some actual armor on the legs with some nice big boots. And yeah, backpack looking somewhat kitted out, which clinks occasionally with the sound of glass.
Indeed. It being Midlander, the codpiece and around the middle area, it's slightly more heavily furred, which just reinforces the whole wolfy codpiece
Nice.
joy that you
It's
have.
very much
Yeah, and
Look
plus
here.
it's important because it also provides extra warmth, because you might be moving into a very cold area. And you've already been down towards the center of that, led by the good father. Let's hope that is going to be repeated. It hasn't been so far. But let's hope that it's going to be repeated. And you're aware that you could get very cold. I presume one also has a cloak.
I haven't written it down.
So you don't. He left the cloak behind.
I
Well
left the
done.
cloak behind.
Because I've told them that if they've not written it down, they don't have it. Which could be very amusing when it comes to lunchtime and they forget, I don't know, how to make a fire.
I haven't
They've
written
got bright
clothes.
wizards.
Clothes.
Then
So-
strictly no clothes, you've just got your armor and the equivalent. You
Gonna
don't
write
have a
down
second
clothes
set of
now. I'm
clothes.
just gonna do
That's
that
gonna
now.
chafe.
Yeah.
Hey, you may.
Yeah, she is wearing full leather armor as well. It's probably dark blues and browns and stuff. She's got a backpack, bedroll, all the normal stuff. She's got her pouches. Her classic one normal money, one money for Ronald, one. I think last time we had it on camera, she put a poisonous mushroom in the other one, so it's kind of off limits for the poison things, I guess. Yeah, and she has her fan, her sword.
Shit, war fan. Shit.
And I put my bow down as well, but I don't know how that all works on her back.
I'll let you worry about that. As
My
I
fan
also note,
sideways.
another detail, she's not wearing her normal outsized peasanty garb or her outsized, I'm pretending to be someone else like a Kislevite garb, and it makes her look thin.
Oh.
Just not used to it. She looks thin. Genuinely quite thin. Now, it's quite different to somebody changing and you occasionally, an arm or whatever, but when you actually see her in her clothes that she's not usually wearing, it makes her look very different. Now, obviously, Birdie looks very different, but oddly, Birdie looks like she's in her element. She looks like she's not almost like she's been forced down a route that she herself may not have purposefully chosen.
You think?
And it shows on her face as well. There's just a general look of ever so slight concern, but also a certain amount of determination. She has somewhere she intends to go.
Yes.
And Elric.
He doesn't look much
He's a bright
different.
wizard!
Yeah. I guess the only thing, he's carrying his normal stuff like the father. He's got his grimoire tied to his belt. He's got his staff, his sword, his smithing hammer is also part of him. He's carrying that again. And then he's got a huge backpack that is wrapped with more rope. Yeah, more rope than everyone else. Oh, his bracers are on,
Rope wrapped around him.
Yeah, but avoiding one of the braziers because...
Well, you can put it down between because he hasn't got the big heavy grill because he's not a full magister. Okay, so he's just got the lower one, so he can just wrap it around that, and indeed he can even use the metal parts as parts of segregating the rope slightly, spreading the weight.
More so that when they light, the rope isn't going to catch fire.
Because they're at the front.
Yeah, and then backpack full of food, provisions, water, pitons, stuff like that. So all written down.
Yeah,
he's stocked up on all of his spell equipment as well. That was available.
It's also worth noting that, particularly for, oddly, Gerhard, just looking at him as he's preparing and looking over the edge and his staff out and the light from his staff picking out all the details down there, Elric's changed. He has. Now, it's been a gradual, step-by-step, almost day-by-day change. But it's as you see him from behind, for a moment, you don't recognize him. And then you're like, oh, it's Elric. But he is now the Elric he is, rather than the Elric that you knew. The Elric that you knew was smaller, more slight. He was always relatively strong. But as he lifts up, the muscle of his shoulder pushes everything out in a way. The rise of it, the thickness of the rope, he's really very strong in a way that you kind of hadn't noticed. I mean, you knew he was intellectually. It's interesting how the mind plays tricks in itself. And he finds himself going round in circles, a mental loop of going, why didn't I see the man he was? Why did I see the man that I knew when I first met him? His hair's longer, shaggier. He didn't take the haircut. To look absolutely marvelous like yourself. Yeah, quite. He looks rougher and rugged in a way that you just didn't notice until now. Yumi did.
I forgot to ask about my spell components.
Yes.
Mine are all quite straightforward. How many would you suggest that? Like, what did you say to Dan about his?
There was only very specific, actually focused ones that are hard to get.
Yeah.
For the people at home, a dragon's tooth. There wasn't just some kicking about.
I didn't say yes to the dragon's tooth.
Inscribed, not even just the dragon's tooth, inscribed with actual runes.
Like mine are really basic.
Yeah, totally.
He's got a shit ton of sulfur. That's his main thing.
A scruff from a black cat.
Famously, no cats in Middenheim. Just wolves.
Not true.
As you staff out, look down, it's rough and goes down in steps. And annoyingly, you can see as the light spills down there, it also sort of opens up. And the reason it's annoying is because if it's all like this, steps, drops and steps, corridors, choices and corridors, you're going to get lost swiftly. You might end up returning to the same spots. Having a cartographer with you, good thing. The initiate, because at least you may be able to say, we've been this way. But as you're looking down, you're pretty convinced that she's not going to be mapping anything. It's going to require multiple people and potentially multiple defensive drives. Hole up an area, map that out before you go down to the next one, because who knows what would happen next? You have no idea how you're going to find anyone down here. You're just going to have to rely upon, as ridiculous as this sounds to you, Sigmar.
Well, it's worked before.
It has.
No pressure.
But it relies on a crit. we're literally, it's in the lap of the gods. Yeah.
Could be a hero.
Well, I've got at least 2 more normal rolls to time before we get there. Yeah.
Hero.
What do you see?
A lot. There's. I don't know any other way to say this. This is a lost cause, potentially. There's just space after space, and potentially it goes on and on. We'll need some kind of guidance.
Oh, right. Do you see differently? Just because of, the whole light and fire and all that sort of stuff?
No, I can see winds where they are. Well, some winds, but I don't see in the darkness or anything.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good point, though. Maybe you could try and sense, once we get down there, what Dagmar might be channeling.
Might not be Dagmar. Just be aware of that.
What things down there might be channeling.
Well, if something is, at least it's a direction.
I'll have a look.
Is this the way we came when we came?
No.
No, this is
Completely
a
different
whole
way.
other way.
Yeah.
So how are we going to find him in all this?
As Almanawife peers over the edge and looks down, and it just goes off into darkness. It's dark. And distant echoes, movements, shifts, and to make matters worse, there's things down there. You can hear the occasional shift and possibly even a groan. Okay. Sure, let's go with that groan. Unless that was the father.
I think
So how are we going to find him in all this?
Is there any?
No,
That's not really.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
who's him?
Oh, that's obviously Dagmar.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
Is that a good oracle question?
You're the one
the
that
question
chooses.
is a good oracle question would be, where is Dagmar?
No, it's not. No, it's not. I've thought about this because where is
Oh.
Dagmar just goes, he's here. And that's not helpful.
Or this
How are we going to find him is helpful.
crit
No.
and augury roll?
Yeah.
Would be a valid answer to that.
Then you know where he is. You just
Sigmar's-
know where he is, not how to get
Sigmar's not
there.
going to give us a map.
Well,
He's
we
not gonna
might
go,
do.
oh, take the second left, head down about 5 minutes, past the Costa.
Is there any advice that Birdie can offer to Emmanuel on the mapping of the place? Or
Literally none.
Yeah.
Literally
Worth
none.
asking.
Unless, of course, she's got the cartography skill.
No.
No. So yeah, she no idea where to even begin in such a thing. The idea of drawing it out like that to her is actually novel.
Well, actually, now I think of it, you said this. Sorry, Dagmar is down here. We know he's under the Fauschlag.
Fauschlag, well done.
Yes. So we know he's under here. We know
Praise
that
him.
typically, yes, you should. Typically, he's a very magical individual. You can see the winds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So can you?
Not all of them.
Wait,
Um,
but before all of this, shouldn't the priority be finding Magritte? Where, we've left her there for days.
Find-
I've
Finding
assumed-
Magritte should be our priority because then she can help us find
Yeah,
Dagmar.
because then she can
And she can also
feel
help us
it.
fight him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Remember, we got
So
All right. well,
maybe, how do we get to Magritte?
Can I use my oracle maneuver, please? Really, sitting here listening to it, like, somebody say it. There we go.
that's
And
no
the
different.
oracle
That's no
does speak.
different. That's no different to how do we find Dagmar.
How's Lucas feeling? Go, roll!
He's
dead.
Yeah, it's a pass, but it's not a crit.
Okay, so a pass gives us.
That gives me vague information, I
He's
believe.
going to say she's down here somewhere.
By walking.
or she's not. So pass revelation. I am stunned for D10 minutes as confusing visions overwhelm me. The vision answers the question, but is open to misinterpretation.
And Leopold falls to one knee
Just grab him.
Yeah.
as light spills out from beneath his bandages.
Ooh.
We're in the dark, and often we're topside when this is happening. But down here, you can actually see the glowing gap where his eyes should be through the blindfold. The light crackles slightly as he sees. And hears a scream. It's Margarita. And again, it's Margarita. Her life has been drawn from her. Used. And she sees a great thread that's been spun between her and her grandfather. And he is taking everything to keep himself. You don't even know to keep himself in what, but he's taking. And it's not good. You can hear the screams, the pain, the anguish, the hurt. She is lost deep in the darkness somewhere below. It's not frightfully useful, but it's some information.
We might hear her if we get close.
Yeah. We need to go down.
You might not have approached a screaming lady otherwise.
That's it? Just down?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a while before he comes back.
Oh, yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
How many minutes were you?
Did you roll?
I haven't rolled. Shall I roll?
Yeah, it's always nice to know just how long they're.
5
minutes.
minutes.
You can still walk. You're stunned. When you're stunned, you can take an action or a maneuver.
You start
action
walking
or a
down
move.
then.
Yeah,
So
please
you
don't.
can choose to.
Please
You can choose to move.
Let's walk up here.
Is there steps, isn't there?
It's steps.
But there's steps.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable, but yes, you're stunned for that time as you go.
Well, why don't
We'll
I?
go slowly.
Why don't I walk with the father as much as the passage will allow? A, because we're drilled so close together is good, but also so he doesn't walk off the edge of something.
down, as the father leads you forward. Basilisk sits upon his shoulders. Tongue rolls out, comes back in as it tastes the air, almost like it's a snake, but it's not. As its mouth opens up, taking in the air.
It'd be
Oh, we
a
should
brilliant
probably-
moment to discover that Drago is like a tracking basilisk.
Yeah.
What's that, Timmy?
One of those.
Margarita
famous-
sat down well.
One of the greatest tracking basilisks. Of course.
Tracolisk.
It's Tracolisk. I like that.
That would be terrific. I haven't spent any XP on him. Can I put it all into navigation?
All into language right field. I say, good boy.
Is it, Leopold? Let me try and go left down here.
As you make your way down. Others following, I presume, as we head off into the darkness.
Marching order.
The core of the next step is potentially a mixture of boredom and danger. Because you're constantly on edge, because at any moment you may be ambushed. It's dark and you know that things live down here. But the enormous amount of time that you spend between actually encountering anything is, well, kind of boring, for some at least. But the tension is so high that you never really have that much time to reflect upon such things. Only Birdie has anything close to comfort down here. This is loosely a little bit like having a wander down the main street in town for you. You know, there's lots of things potentially out there that could, harm you. There is. But you're used to being down here. You're also used to living by your senses. You're used to living by your touch. You're used to not being able to see. And you can see quite clearly. They've got lanterns up. We've got a staff with light burning on the end of it. Yeah, you're comfortable.
I've got stealth underground, so I should at least be vaguely comfortable.
No, this is not the sewers of Null.
Nice try.
This is really far from the sewers of Nuln, where you trained as a sewer jack once a long time ago. This is underground cavern stroke, interestingly, occasionally room. The edge of a broken room, as you realise that people probably have lived down here at various points. As you then drop down to another level, which just feels devastated, crumbling bits of rock that you make your way over, occasionally small bits of them falling down as bits of dust also come from above. Odd to think that this place could ever fall, but Gerhardt can't but dwell on the inevitability of the entropy. At one point, this place will crumble away.
Ugh,
The
God.
stone itself, though, depressed Gerhardt realizes is not going to crumble for quite some time, because the stone itself is exceedingly hard. And he notices as he moves through a vaulted chamber that it's naturally vaulted, and there's a lot of weight of heavy stone around here. The stone itself sticks in his shoes. Very rarely it scrapes rather than breaking. Most of the natural stone is really quite solid. It's at around about the 1 hour mark that you pass your first feature, where it's different to just caverns and old bits of place where people have once lived. This high up, this place has been cleared out multiple times by sewer jacks, and it looks like nothing has decided coming up this far is worth its time. There's not that much eating here. There's not that much around. There's not much of an ecosystem in this particular part beyond the dripping of water and the various algae and such like that have attached themselves to that. But then we pass through a very dark area of the cavern, black stone, that rises in pillars. Descends from the ceiling in pillars also, each one of them marked out in octagons. The octagons are not regular. Some of the octagons are misformed, different sizes to each one of their sides, but in some places, purely regular.
So like the Giant's Causeway type.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Dark stone rising on all sides, and all in octagons. Everywhere around. The ceiling is formed of octagons. The floor is made of octagons. All black stone. Scribble, 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 scribble goes the cartographer.
Does
with
it
a slight amount of...
feel in any way different or interesting?
It's cold.
Like it doesn't feel holy or unholy or anything
No,
like that?
it's just cold. Cold stone. It does, however, make a natural camping point because there's several bits that just raise up to almost waist height, easy to sit on. Most of them are quite flat. And it looks like this place, as you move on just slightly further, has been used as a camping spot by several because area, a small alcove, is all burnt out across the top of its ceiling. It's a natural stopping point.
Any skating sign as we're going down?
None, because death,
Terror.
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 Depending which order you take the runes.
Is the black stone like reflective? Does it?
No, it's dull. Yeah, it's quite dull.
Perhaps we should say that this is where we make a base and explore out from here.
Use it as a reference point. Good thinking.
It's not a bad idea.
How many exits are there out of this place? In terms of directions?
Having a good stomp around, about 20.
20.
We just
About 20 or exactly 20?
I mean, some of them, they sort of arc off. It's not an exact science.
And we mark.
yes. We'll mark
You're
one
not the
number
only
them.
one. As you move towards and out of the main area, there's what amounts to graffiti along the edge. Some of it's really old. Some of it are in runes that you just don't have any chance of understanding. Some of them...
None of us?
I was about to say, some of them are in runes that you do understand. A couple of dwarf marks.
Excellent.
And one of them says... Fagrav was here.
Classic. Classic
down, down at the bottom, no dragons.
Okay.
Safe.
Okay.
It's good.
And a date on it of 5115.
That being the dwarf calendar, presumably.
Presumably.
Does his lower dwarfs give him some
Give him a
indication?
roll.
Either that or
No teeth for you.
time
though.
is an illusion.
Travel,
Lunchtime
time
building.
traveling dwarf.
Yeah. Actually, no. No.
Yeah, he's not quite sure how long.
I'm assuming we're not chill. So.
Yeah, no.
Gets
Largely because he doesn't know what the reference date is. It could be. He's thinking he's probably old though.
Gets out Barracool, starts writing my name. Not to be outdone by Fagrab or whatever his name was in 5115. No.
Just cut off one of the octagons, you know.
But that gives
Just
us
slice his name out.
that gives us a reference point because we can then say Tunnel 1 is Fargrave's tunnel.
Fargrave's tunnel. Yeah.
Because if the
And
Skaven
start
haven't
there.
messed around with these signs, we can use them as a
And there's
reference.
apparently
Yeah.
no dragons.
I mean, they're going to
Yes.
find it hard to mess around with the ones that they've carved into the wall.
Exactly.
takes out Barracle.
So,
Just slice down.
Young Freud's Jaegers.
are you going to have yourself a spot of lunch and then move on out? Spot of lunch. Then move on out. I would like one person to roll the dice of doom. Just one.
Shall I?
Yeah.
This cannot be modified.
Oh shit.
Ooh.
And I will tell you before you roll, if you roll an 8, it is a potentially fatal attack.
Here's a question before I roll it.
Yes.
Good night.
Can it be re-rolled with a divination re-roll?
And no, it may not.
Because sometimes
There
it
is a-
can
yep,
re-roll
yep.
things that
And
forces can't.
there is a reason.
I don't have an 8 on my dice. Should I roll?
Yeah, you got magic dice
yeah.
that you should definitely use.
Diagrams modified.
Special LAWhammer dice. They're all ones.
It's a lot of pressure now. Shall I?
Yes.
Yeah, go for it.
It's 10.
Wee.
That's the second worst roll.
Oh, that's not fair. You didn't tell us that.
He'd have rolled differently.
Exactly. I'd have given it a bit
You
more
were
top
so
spin if I know.
close.
I think no matter what you rolled. Oh no, that was the second worst.
8 or anything
Yeah.
else. Yeah.
Yeah, 8. Anything else?
You're making your way down. I would like to have the following tests: perception, smell, perception, hearing, perception, hearing, and for you 3, I would like a perception, just perception, nothing.
Are we
Is
chilled?
this Sixth Sense or is this just
No,
general?
never.
Oh.
Ever. Basically, the answer is always no,
No.
unless you've got advantage in combat. The only way you're going to get advantage down here is if you get it because you're in a winning situation. 10 successes, nice.
What about from drilled? Don't they get advantage?
Well,
Is it
if you
just
get,
in
if
combat?
you get
In
yeah, that,
combat.
again, that goes for combat.
I'm gonna,
And like,
I'm going to use
if
my
I use my
fortune
divination
point.
tools, I get it for all my augurs.
Yeah, totally.
2
15.
successes.
Holy moly, that's bullshit. I got 10, I got 15.
And if it's surprise, 16.
Good to know.
3
3.
fails.
Love it.
2 smell-related successes.
So we start off with smell. The air changes and it's gradual, so you don't notice it to begin with. It's beginning to dry. And it's not at the point where you begin to go, yep, the air smells a little bitty different. That we ping off here. A roar, a distant roar. But it's not the roar of an animal. It's the roar of sound. It's a waterfall, it's something else, you're not quite sure, but it's roaring.
It doesn't sound like the big thing that we heard last
Oh,
time.
no. It's definitely not an animal, and it's also consistent. And as you make your way further and further down, that roar becomes more and more prevalent until it reaches the point where you sort of half believe you're making it up because it's just so consistent.
Yeah, can no one else hear that?
Yeah, quite.
What does it sound like?
Actually, not far wrong, yeah.
Yeah. And it's drier.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a flame of some sort. Because I would expect the air to get wetter. But drier.
It's your kit. It begins to spin and move and shake something inside it
Okay.
as you open up your little kit. And on the inside, whoops, as she tears the room apart. And on the inside, there is a small glass bauble with a stick. And outside that glass bauble is a spinning, moving little red spite. Its long nose wicked as it pushes up against the glass and goes and then twists over and goes in one specific direction.
There's something that way it doesn't like.
Is that the direction the roaring is coming from?
You're not sure it's echoing.
What
It's
do
very
you-
different.
Is it a recognizable?
Yeah, you recognise that as a spite.
And why
An
might it be
actual
doing
one?
that?
Yeah,
Or- No.
As
They
far
don't-
as you know,
Don't
yeah,
they all look quite
yeah,
unique?
they're all very similar. Yes, gangly limbed looking little spirit.
Why might it be doing that?
These Elric's failed this perception check. so
More
I'm
magic
gonna-
though.
Now, yeah, this is more of a lower magic
Okay.
one, so yeah, I'm quite cool with that.
Can I do one too?
Yeah, could she try to speak to
No.
Do you have language spirit?
I We used something else last time.
Yeah, quite. You want to give it a go? Language Kami test.
I got one success.
One success.
What?
No successes. You think it's scared.
It's just one advance, so.
So you succeeded. Okay, lovely. As it goes, and you listen, and you think you can. And as she's looking at it, Alamenowith, this spirit in this little glass bauble pressed up. It's almost like it slows down to you. Almost. And it's not just simply hissing. It's speaking. It's saying. It's active. It's terrified. Mother. Mother. Don't take me to mother. Don't take me to mother. Never mother. Never mother. Never born. That's what you understand.
Okay, well, she'll relay that to people who might know more about spites.
It's from the flame.
Aren't we?
Maybe we should
Never
go.
born. That sounds familiar to me.
Where did you get that? Sorry. Why? It's...
Katerina gave me this adventurer's kit.
Oh, right. So it's a gift.
A gift, yes.
Have you got anything else in there? That's
I've got loads in there.
like a strange spite on a stick.
It's to light the way. Maybe we shouldn't
she-
go this way.
and a red light just spills forward.
Oh,
As she tips it over, as it goes, and red light spills out from it.
oh, that's very useful.
It is, but
It's a little cruel.
sure. Maybe we should not go this way. Try a different route.
Do you think sort of
Is
red
there-
is there saying red is bad?
No, the light's always going to be red.
No,
Oh.
what you just said. It said
Just
was,
because of what was said, I
Yes.
understand. I thought it would indicate
No,
good,
I don't
bad,
think so.
based upon light. We could try that. Why don't we
Face it
just?
the other way.
We have
It's red.
Yeah, it's right.
Okay,
It's
right,
a-
fine, good
When
to
we've
test.
been at the flame, there was no spites.
No, none.
Okay, so maybe it's not from there.
my advice would be we have 20 tunnels to choose from. Why don't we mark this direction as
And maybe
You're already an hour into this one.
all right?
Yeah, you're quite, because you're just going
quite
and
committed.
seeing where it comes, yeah.
Oh, well, we
That doesn't mean that you can't go back for an hour. I'm quite happy for you to spend as long as you
Maybe
want
we-
down here.
I bet you do.
Maybe we keep going. but
Neverborn is really tickling. Is there anything lore theology on that? Do you want to know mine?
Your skill is, please?
72.
Yeah. You have heard that demons are sometimes referred to as neverborn, but only certain types. And you don't know the difference because you were reading a book you shouldn't have. Because
With my reputation?
yeah, absolutely, he's an upstanding Sigmarite, and you definitely didn't creep into her library, and you weren't looking through some of her old notes. Neverborn.
Her?
Yes, her.
Abercorn.
Abercorn.
Abercorn, okay.
I
Yeah.
probably would have made you do it. To be fair.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely the sort of thing.
Yeah,
You would be up for.
100%.
Yeah,
Um,
you twisted my arm.
yeah,
I would
yeah.
never have done it
No,
No,
otherwise.
he's
they've got
by
some really
himself.
good books in here. Look, there's some stuff about some things with like 3 arms and things.
And the only other point you have from that was it was during her travels in the south.
I'm wondering if that's right. I'm wondering if maybe she mentioned it
Maybe.
in our conversation. I definitely feel like I've heard it.
So do we go on, but on alert?
Carefully.
Yes. We
It takes an hour before it becomes more clear what's up ahead. And it also gives you an idea of the scale of the place that you're making your way through. During this passage traversal, you both go up and down and up again and down again as you make your way up parts and down other parts, and eventually find that the heat is increasing. And after another hour, the light is no longer needed. The cavern itself is lit up with a ruddy glow ahead that spills out. There is a natural orange light down here, and the heat is increasing. Anyone who's wearing more than 1 armor point, do an endurance test.
I have tenacious. Does that have any kind of?
That
You
means
can
that
double.
If you pass it, you
Yeah.
can.
go check the tenacious talent so we get the actual rule.
Yeah.
That's
But
what the talents are for.
because I don't have my cloak,
Is that a recent print? Good.
because I don't have my cloak, which
Yes.
we established made me cooler earlier.
Are you carrying more than 1 armor?
Yes.
So the answer is do the test.
Remember, tired. You can have an extra plus tenacious fatigue points before growing tired.
Good, good, good.
What are
Because I am
fatigue
going to.
points?
You are going to find out. That's why I said check the talent.
What was this endurance?
Yes.
Yeah, one fail.
1 fail. You take 1 fatigue point. How many
One.
toughness bonus do you have?
My toughness is 6.
So you're fine.
I
But
got
you
5
have one.
successes.
Find something to take as a marker. If we had all of our stuff from my room next door, which got flooded, we'd have had nice little fatigue tokens from Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 3 because we were going to use those, but they're not here. So
Send
you
us
can just
some.
choose your assessment. Send us some. We are impoverished.
I'll use this as well.
4 successes.
Yep, you're good.
Are we sure we want to keep going? I don't think this is the right way.
I mean, it's nice. It's warmer. Yeah, it's not awful.
Too warm.
But it might lead down.
Can you?
I mean,
Friends
if you want to
travel
go ahead.
Do you want to sort of?
Elric's not bothered with this
Yeah,
at all.
not in the slightest. You don't need to roll this test, by the way.
He's only wearing 1 piece of armor
Yeah.
anyway.
You wouldn't need to roll it anyway.
Is there? Are you picking anything up? You know, sort of actually
And
wise.
with the sense of a flame ahead, I don't even have to
Yep.
check.
It's
actually-
coming in nice,
yeah.
gentle waves, skidding along the walls.
Imagine the sprite. Oh, the sprite.
No, the
Is the
sprite
sprite
gives off
terrified?
none.
No, but the
Interestingly.
sprites are normally
Yeah,
attracted.
absolutely.
Yeah. And he is. I mean, he can't
It's-
really move, can he?
Yeah, it's terrified.
Yeah.
Are people generally aware of things like lava and all that sort of thing?
Not generally, no.
Right. Okay. So this would.
Magma.
Magma.
So, what do you think?
I mean, it's just hot.
Yes,
I,
but if
I
we
can go ahead.
Maybe those of you not wearing quite so much armour.
Yeah. I just.
I mean, if there's a way past, if we get much closer, we might not be able to take the way past. It might be too hot. What could possibly make such heat? A source of actuary?
A big
A
spirit.
demon?
All right, well, look, if we're doing that, I don't necessarily want to send you off on your own. So we should all go together. It's strength in numbers.
I mean,
But-
it thought it was a demon. So
Exactly. I mean, I don't know anything that can make it's more than a forge.
Is
Not
there,
really
has there
wanna go
been
near a
any
demon.
branching off this path?
Lore dwarves. Because you do have a lore that's quite.
what 3 successes? but
The
one
blood of the
advances.
world that is used to forge the greatest of metals is hot. And it lies in the hearts of the mountains.
So it could be the blood of
This pings off the blood of the world. The
Could be-
hot blood of
the
the
world. Could be the
world.
hot blood of the world. The dwarves harness it to forge their greatest weapons.
Okay, well that can't be too bad.
That might
It's
be why.
incredibly hot.
It melts metal and you're wearing some.
No, I understand that. I'm not going to sit there and go, ow, and then just carry on. I'm sure we should have a look at it at least. Get as close as we possibly can before it gets
If we
excruciatingly
can
uncomfortable.
see red,
Yeah,
does
yeah.
it mean that it's like we can see further ahead, or is
Oh
it
yeah, you can
quite-
see right to where the corridor twists and turns. Yeah,
Yeah.
completely.
I mean,
I don't mind moving forward, but the sweat's probably dripping off them too.
I mean, it's warm. They're not. I mean, you're fatigued. Okay,
I'm
you're
not used to
feeling
wearing
it.
plate though.
Yeah, yeah,
so
totally.
that-
So it makes
that's-
sense. It's not
yeah.
awful yet. We're far from awful. It's not too
Okay.
hot.
Why
We're not
don't-
feeling massively hot.
why
It's
don't we
just warm.
go until it gets a bit too much for us?
Mhm.
You have a rope. You can take it with you. Go ahead, have a look. If it gets bad, pull and we'll pull you back.
And let's just see. Let's move
Yeah.
on anyway.
Might not be necessary.
Do you think the world has its own spirit?
Yes.
Do you think that's what they meant? A little spite?
I don't know that much.
Unborn doesn't seem terribly natural.
But the blood of the world, if it has blood.
Maybe it's
And it's
unborn because
never
it was
born.
always here.
Yes, because it's so great it could never be born.
Also, it might just be a metaphor.
You got Lord upon?
I do have Lord upon.
Do yourself a test, please.
Ooh.
Ooh!
Intersecting
my
lores.
Intersecting lore. Dwarf, Nippon.
I
Cha!
have 1 advance in it, and it's a success.
Oh, excellent. There are kami that are referenced with a very similar name. But they were the very first created at the beginning of all time. When the great symphony of creation, according to your father and his exceedingly poor descriptions of exactly what that all meant. But at that point, there was the very first.
Yeah.
Right at the very heart of it all. And then others. Interestingly, if you put 2 and 2 together, one of them may even have been called something akin to Akshi.
Well, that is one of the things that Father talked about as well. That they have funny names and stuff. Listen, it's potentially. I've heard stories of very strong spirits. Usually, they're so big they're quite asleep most of the time because it takes a lot of energy to keep them going. And clearly, this one is awake because it's emitting heat.
And it could be slumbering, no?
Maybe.
Is it as big as the sea?
It's on that level, I think. It's one of the first that was
Maybe
created.
what we're hearing is it snore.
I mean, if the blood of the world is coming up, then what I mean is it as big as Manan? Manan is all the sea. Is this all the blood and it's just at the surface here?
And
You
is it
don't know.
coming up higher?
You're making it up.
I know, but
don't
that's
know.
worked so far, so...
There's only one way to find out. We have to keep going forward.
We could
and-
talk about it more, or we could just take a couple of steps.
Go and have a look.
Also, the sea the sea's nice if you're above it, but if you get in it, it's okay. But if you spend too much time in it and underneath it, then you die. So this might be the same thing.
Rousing speech there. As the party moves forward.
Could you maybe towards the back, please?
You may slide to the back as the heat becomes not unbearable, but most certainly exceedingly warm. If you are not Elric, do yourself another endurance test. This goes to everybody. If you're wearing more than 1 point of armor, it's difficulty 1. Ah, sweet. Nice. You're fine, Father. Totally fine. In
Reroll.
fact, you've got no fatigue just now, do you? No, you're cool. I'll just, yeah, you're good.
0 successes.
Yep, you're good.
I'm acclimatized.
No, you said it was difficulty 1 for wearing
Oh,
armor.
yes, you're right. You've got the armor, so you're not acclimatized. You take another fatigue point. As the sweat is beginning to dribble down the side of her head. 5 successes.
endurance,
Nice.
Just endurance.
Love it.
Let's see, what's my... it's actually better. 5
Oh,
successes.
lovely. Yeah, you're absolutely fine as you push your way forward, and you can now feel the rippling waves of it. It's enough that you're almost beginning to be able to see the spirits. The spites that are moving through it. You've only ever seen spites manifest by themselves in the Bright College, which you know is a confluence of actually
In the center.
power. And you can almost feel them. Occasionally at this edge of your vision, you get a slight flittering as its little wings go past you.
Always away.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing towards.
Yeah.
So they're escaping from it.
As ahead, where Elric said, you can see his hair getting caught in a slight wind that no one else feels.
If it keeps on getting hotter, then even if there is a way past, we won't be able to get past it.
I can channel it. I can make it cool.
I think we should go back.
I still kind of want to see it though. Is there have we turned the corner as you say?
You're close. I mean, it's not it's hot, but you're not too. You can feel the heat.
I'll come with you.
And this still doesn't feel quite as hot as the Bright College.
Yeah. He's gonna keep moving, even if no one will. If you do
Yeah,
come.
I'm in.
But
Yep.
He'll
My
try
special
and be
handbag
within
with you, mate, to
sight, so
protect
he
her.
wants to see.
Can I borrow your fan?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick here and rear guard action.
Could
Likewise.
she borrow your torch? What flashlight? Whatever this is. She'll
It's not a flashlight, it's a spotlight.
your spotlight. She'll try and calm down the spite as for practice whilst we're waiting.
Do yourself an intuition test.
Cool. Yeah, if you break my spotlight, I'm gonna be rash.
Actually, spites are little shits.
Yeah.
Maybe because you're using them wrong. 2 successes.
No.
2 successes. You reckon if it could break out of the glass that it's currently in, it would probably bite you. As it sits there, gnawing. Didn't take the best intuition test to get that. The red light emanating from within it. As you and is it just you two that are going forward?
Yeah.
Okay, as the pair of you make your way forward, Elric makes his way around the edge, and he can almost go from distant to roaring sound by turning a corner here. The echoes are so consistent that there's not a matter of, if the sound hits and it falls down. This chamber is at least 200 paces across. It's quite huge. And it falls down into a great river of fire. It's making its way, snaking through the middle. Across, and almost sensing, oh, you can't believe your first thought was home. When did the Bright College ever be considered home? But your first thought was, it reminds me of home. As you can see lava flow falling down and splashing against, and it reminds you of the great Axway flows that many who visit the college can't even see. But you can. They glow so hot to your vision. They look like almost white hot lava plumes. Apparently the older wizards see them as pure red, where for the younger wizards, because their senses aren't quite as attuned, they've got far more of the empirical heat mixing up with the etherical heat. So white coming down, and it's splashing down. It looks unlike anything you've ever seen before, because it's not etheric. It's physical as it splashes down. The heat here is intense, but not blisteringly intense. It's just really hot. You can feel it pressing. It's a little bit like getting too close to a bonfire.
Yeah.
And it's really quite distant, 200 paces across, and it's over 100 paces away. But the heat is intense. You're not sure how close you could get to that. You're feeling it now. But as you pass round and you see it, it is a vista. And the amount of those black rock octagons is significant, spread out on all sides. And lots of bulbous looking rock that looks like it's almost bubbled up and then just stopped.
Need
Endurance test for yourself.
the Brights never really talked about this, or
No, you're aware that you get superheated.
what about
That-
his family in terms of the world? Like, they would've-
Yeah, no.
No?
They're all forest. You're aware of the concept of a volcano.
Yeah.
You're aware of the concept of fire mountains. But you never really considered that fire mountains might conflict with what he said with the dwarves, that possibly it's the blood of the planet or some similar nonsense spurting out. The blood of the world would be better. But yeah, that is what the pair of you see. How did you do in your test?
3
successes.
successes.
Yeah, you're fine. The heat is blazing across your face. You think that if you get significantly closer, you're probably going to burn and scald your face.
I'm glad I came.
So there's no real way across.
You're not so sure. You can
Okay.
see other exits from here,
Yeah.
but you would need to make your way through the cavern. It's
And
going
realistically,
to
he
be-
would know if he's feeling the heat.
Yeah. It's super hot, but you're here. You've survived it. You know you can feel the heat, and if you go skirt as far away from it as possible, you think you could probably get through here.
Do you want to suggest it? What do you think? I mean,
Well,
look at that. Also,
yeah, that's terrifying,
that is
but
incredible.
also amazing. I'm
Anyone got lower science?
No, I've got
Nope,
more
good.
art.
It would make a great picture.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable going through here, but I don't know if the others are.
Okay.
It's a maybe. We can just go back.
You can tell them when they can make a decision.
Yeah.
Do a vote.
Well,
Quick
Can we
vote.
not hear them? I mean,
You two can hear them, yeah.
This is the first
We'll relay to the rest of the party what they're saying.
I mean, it sounds like we can get through.
If we just stay as far away from it.
Okay.
Could you how do you when you're channeling?
Mhm.
What does it feel like?
How do you mean?
When you're channeling, what does it feel like?
I'm drawing energy into my body.
We're all coming.
We
we're all-
Yeah.
You come around the corner and they're having a conversation about channeling magic.
I'm not gonna channel around here.
No?
I would probably explode.
Oh, right.
There's a lot of the wind.
The thing about magic
Oh, right. Hello.
is that you really shouldn't experiment just to see. I know that's really hard for you.
he's been sort of going like this. I don't know if you ever did this as a kid. I used to do this when I was in a car and a kid. I used to pretend I was Cyclops. I'd be like, he's doing that, but like trying to draw it in.
What, has Elric ever made that gesture?
It's
Give me the X-ray.
because it's unpredictable in every way. What happens today might not happen tomorrow. What happens tomorrow might not happen the next day. But almost always, it's dangerous.
And on that, as those who turn around the corner, do your test, except for Andy, because you created his one. I'm quite happy with that one down. Yeah.
I burned my face after just healing it.
5 successes. I don't mind the heat.
Can I re-roll?
6 successes. Josh.
Sweet,
Ooh.
dude.
I'm gonna re-roll because that was an 88.
Nice.
Oh no.
Don't tell him.
That would have been unfortunate.
Still probably
It might
is.
still probably
2
be.
successes.
But it'd be less unfortunate if you hadn't changed it, I think.
Oh,
An 88 next to a bright wizard next to a giant lava flow.
I'm
Like, that's not a good combo.
when she's carrying black powder.
Yeah.
And a spite.
Oh my god, the black powder. Immediate distance from those two.
Oh, blub, blub, blub.
Let's just
Over
get
in
through
the
as
flow
quickly
of
as-
lava that's like a river passing its way through, the entire area picked out in that ruddy red light. And a rise, and a splash, like a small fountain that's briefly there for a moment, splashes down heavily, as if underneath there's something.
Chill. Let's just go.
Yeah, stay as far away from it as possible.
Also, this is clearly the source of the sound. It's almost grinding its way through the mountain.
Are the spikes
Father
more
Leopold, can I have
visible
an
now?
intuition test, please?
Intuition, indeed.
Imagine the spikes way more visible. Yeah.
4 successes.
A part of you thinks that you hear a heartbeat.
Is this
Don't you always hear a heartbeat though, really?
Not mine or any of yours. I think we should be quiet. And I think we should move on.
Elric, can I have a cool test, please?
Because of my commanding presence,
One
you can
success.
have
One
an extra
success.
success.
The archway suddenly hits you in it was already hitting you pretty strongly, but a relatively heavy wave. Channeling test, and this is to stop causing everybody 2d10 damage.
He would.
Is it optional?
I have commanding now, so theoretically you might get an extra 1 success.
And the commanding talent, please.
It is.
Quite important for the
Add
the
plus
wording.
commanding to cool for all in line of sight of my presence.
Nice.
Nice.
You exude a calm aura of reassuring authority.
If a bit sweaty.
Allies can add plus commanding successes to their cool tests when they can see you.
Great.
Excellent.
So it's 2 successes for the cool and 4 for channel.
Okay, roll 2d10.
I should be bolstering that one.
13.
13 minus 6.
7.
Good, well done.
Everyone takes 7 wounds as fire
Ow.
bursts out of him from all sides, and that's you channeling the best that you can. Behind him, as he sits there like this, holding it suddenly as the wash.
Tough.
Yes, toughness come out.
But no
Flames
armor.
spur out. No armor. Flames
7. Oh.
burst out from behind him as a great tail of fire rises up from back there as he struggles against that, and it rolls out from him on either side.
We should move quick.
Why are we
Ow,
going
ow,
that
ow,
way?
ow,
No,
ow.
we're going back.
We're already there now.
Go.
Run out.
Clank,
Just
clank,
go.
clank,
Okay,
clank,
so-
clank.
Who's moving in which directions? Are you running back down the corridor?
I've
El-
not
no,
gonna-
Where
El-
all the fire is?
Elric
I'm
is
gonna fuck
stopped
off.
and he's getting them all past
Okay,
them.
round the front of him because
Yeah.
it's the fire's coming out
Yeah.
from the back of him.
Yeah.
His hair begins to flatten and char slightly on the edges. Oh, your
Oh.
lovely, beautiful hair. It's not been like this for a while. Channeling test. It does remind you of being in the college. It reminds you of that time when the fire's just
Crit.
moosed.
Yay!
Sweet!
12, 16 successes.
As you twist it, pull it, and then throw out your arms. And I'm not saying he does this, but it's almost like he grabs it and throws it at himself. As he pulls, twists, and swirls it up and round above him. It takes concentration, and you know that you're in the material realm, and you know that materia responds to materia sympathetically. So having your hand free, you feel makes a difference. You're not sure if it does or not. As the fire goes up in a great spout, hits the basalt ceiling, and all of its 8 sided pillars. There is an extremely unlikely chance that something will happen. Roll a d100. If you roll an 88, that extremely unlikely chance occurs. That was 1 in
It's
100.
impossible. It's an 85.
One of the pillars falls about 4 feet. Stops. As another one over there falls about 2 feet. And another one over there falls about 2 feet.
Move.
So as he's dealing with that, I'm going to say most likely top of the initiative round is Malamenowith. How's she dealing with this?
I'm going to look for the not necessarily the nearest exit, but the one that looks safest.
That's probably also the nearest.
Yeah.
It's just further along
So
there.
I'll.
So you're going to try and pelt your way
Yeah.
over there, right? So can I have an athletics test?
You may. Oh, I'll spend a fortune point on that.
Can I have another athletics
Yeah.
test?
That's good. That is 4 successes.
4 successes. Bump, 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 bump. As you forge the path away. You heading off, following after her. Your movement is reduced by 1. You're in full plate. You're on movement 3 at the moment. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Oh, God damn it! Which means, Father, you're going to go next on the test. Athletics, please.
Regretting my life choices. Not that I had a choice.
It's a pass, but no successes. But
It's better than none. Okay, as you stumble a couple of times making your way over, the heat on the side of your face becomes oppressively warm as you can hear Alamenowith just ahead. The sound washing over you makes it difficult. It's a little bit like the glaze of a very bright light, but orally. As it's hitting your... As you make your way over, Alamenowith moves down, and the difference between just moving in there and just turning around slightly, it feels actually cold on the other side, in the same temperature that beforehand had felt oppressively hot. As you move into the shade on the other
goes
side.
in straight lines.
As they're all pieing by, and yourself. Athletics test, please.
Success.
Okay,
0.
moving over, and you may, or you may not.
That's 2 failures.
You may not.
I'll re-roll it.
I do love using up some fortune points.
Alright. That is... I think that's okay. Oh, that's exactly.
Perfect. Okay, as she picks her way through, hops up into one pillar, over to another, bounces her way through, and comes out, and oh gosh, it's so cool. Oh, it's so nice on the other side. Now you can do your athletics test. As they're all moving away from you.
2 fails.
As you make your way over and trip. But crunch down to the ground. Do yourself endurance
test.
test, please.
4 successes.
4 successes. Yep, you're okay. Sweat dripping from you. So you get back up. Hey, Elric, you're going to have to move soon. You're in the centre of it, and the second you let this go, you're not sure where it's going to
He's
go.
waiting for them to clear, though.
Okay, you can see her making her way. Athletics test again as you make your way over.
While this is happening, can I
4
scout down
successes.
this
Sweet.
corridor?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
They've got more than enough light because of all the light that's
Yeah.
come off lava.
Plus my spotlight.
Of course.
No, you give that to Sage.
I still have it unless you
Oh.
took it before you left.
I didn't think I'd actually given it to her. It was a gift from the
Oh, I'll
princess.
give it back.
Yeah, because she doesn't have your reputation for light-fingeredly lifting anything at all.
Where's my spotlight?
as you
I just think it should be liberated, you know? Like...
dart around the corner and dart right back in again. It rises up, and up above, there's a host of huts. Huts. At the far end, on the gloom, a raised, stilted hut, at the top of which you see what appears to be a long-nosed goblin. It's got a crude bow sitting inside its clawed hand, as it's not looking in the direction of the fire cave because nothing comes from there, ever. It's looking out in the opposite direction down into the darkness ahead. All of the details of this cavern are picked out in red from this side, from all the reflected light, but it's still, you reckon, to human eyes, mostly pitch black.
Like,
To your eyes, you can see it all quite clearly.
how many huts roughly?
Okay, stealth test.
Clank, clank in the background.
Muffled swearing.
I'm coming, Alan, anyway.
6 successes.
6 successes.
Hot back there.
And also I'm passive unless they're actively looking for me.
15.
15. Thanks. I thought you meant that's the amount of successes they got to find. I was like, what the fuck?
15 huts that you
Goblin
count as you
bullshit.
dart back, come round. And now you got your athletics test in the second one. As you arrive, oh, the heat. Endurance test. Second one. The heat is awful.
1 success.
Right, yeah, okay, that's a fail again. So take another fatigue because you
Or was that? Is that
because you're
fail?
wearing armor. So you need.
Because of a fit. It's
Well,
a
what difficulty 2?
Oh,
I'll
she's
imagine, or
difficulty 2 now,
something,
yes.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Is
it's
that 100? No, it's
It's a 10, but
It's
it's
a
only
10,
one
yeah.
success.
one success. Yeah.
just wanted to check.
Right, room is clear. Elric will
We got
attempt to move out.
Okay,
what's her name?
more magic test.
Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Emmanuel.
1
Yeah,
success.
shimmy cheek. Because I was at
Do her roll. 40%.
40%.
Yeah, she's only a little. She's
She
only-
crit.
Hey! She's like
She's amazing.
gone.
Ninja. What?
pack on her back. She hops up and says,
Laughing as she goes.
and then comes out. She's fine.
1 success.
Tiny but
Okay,
mighty.
you are worried. The amount of magic passing through you is significant. And you formed a small conduit. You're concerned because you remember, sadly, you sometimes wish you didn't remember so well.
Fire hose the goblins using your spare army.
You remember the patriarch himself in the only lesson he gave. He's a tall man, tall as Leopold, wearing his long Actuate cloak, the cloak of Actuate itself, the Firestone of Agni upon his breast, the great fire sword at his side. As he come in to give his guest lecture to your class, and decided that the day that he was going to be teaching was the day that he would explain to everyone one of the greatest dangers of Actuate. One of the things you must realize, boys and girls, not a single one of them in there under the age of 20, is that, of course, we are not just conduits, we're also the fuel. And when there's too much fire, sometimes it takes you and you just burn forever. Jodicus Ruin, Patriarch of the Bright Order, Supreme Patriarch of the 8 Colleges of Magic, died. Because he chose to approach a volcano and thought he could control it for the betterment of the colleges. As it turns out, he could not. This cloak that I wear, he says, is all that remains of him. The greatest artifact creator of the colleges ever. This is all that remains. He burns still in the world's edge. Still Do yourself a channeling test. If you fail this, you'll burn. Perpetually,
It really
forever.
would have been nice to remember the lecture before.
You know,
8 successes.
Uh-oh. As it flows. Now, you got a choice, and you don't know what the correct answer is, so it's just purely a choice. Do you decide to keep on trying to channel the flow, or do you flee it?
Can he not expend it instead of?
There's too much to expend. It's like trying to expend the sea. It's just constantly coming.
it's like the sea.
Then he will continue to channel while he's moving.
Do yourself
away.
another channel.
Oh,
Can't
God.
move while you're channeling.
Can't move while I'm channeling. I
As
thought
it
you
turns
move
out.
at.
As it turns out, he can't move while he's channeling. It takes his full action and move to do it. It's a maneuver.
Oh, I'm
Oi.
re-rolling that 99.
Off that one goes.
So 7 successes.
Okay, 7 successes, that's good. But also everyone within empirically, and by that I mean within the space, it gets blocked by walls, but it keeps on going within space, within 100 yards of you.
Now, you've
takes
reduced that by
2d10.
4 because of his Aetheric attunement.
Nice. Okay, takes 2d10 damage. That's not reducing the damage that you get from this.
But it's reducing the effect of the miscast, if that's what you're doing it from.
Um,
Double.
It's not strictly a miscast.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's also strictly not rolled if I re-roll
Are we
it.
not
Yeah.
round the corner? So is
Yes,
it
yeah,
not
but it
locking?
goes round the corner, it goes
It goes
everywhere.
through this
But
fence.
it goes for 100 paces, which is not quite enough to get the bloody goblins. Which
What
is pretty
about me?
disappointing.
I'm really quite far down.
You're not that far away.
What are we doing?
2d10 damage each. Minus your toughness bonus though.
Minus.
Oh, fine.
Oh, okay.
Which
Did anybody take more than their toughness bonus in wounds?
No.
No.
the first
Oh,
one we couldn't take our
I have to
toughness
roll for
bonus.
Yeah, you
my
could.
roll,
You
don't I?
could, yeah.
You could always
Just
take
not your
toughness
armor.
off
The first one.
Oh, okay. Which-
Armor
okay.
doesn't count.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
just make sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I rolled 10 altogether.
So minus your toughness bonus is 6, so
Wait,
that's
the
only
The
4.
original,
That's only 4.
but I didn't take my toughness
No.
bonus off, so then that was.
So just
Dial
add
it.
successes
Two.
on.
And then
Yeah.
this one I rolled.
12 minus your toughness, you
minus
definitely have
five.
taken.
No, it's fine
Shit.
because I made the first one wrong. So
No, but Andy asked, has anyone taken their toughness bonus in wounds?
Or more.
oh
After we took the amount.
Yes.
off.
yes.
You have. Okay, roll a d100. That's the percent of hair you lose.
Yay!
From your head.
Just the head.
Fortunately, I know
Your
eyebrows,
forearms are still
so it's-
super hairy.
Yeah, yeah. Super hairy forearms.
Play a dwarf once.
Started growing suddenly. 16.
16.
Oh.
Oh, that's not too much.
16%.
Eyebrows singed, hair at the front singed. It's not quite gone into bald state. It's just singed. As it rushes through its fire. Again, you've got a choice: continue channeling or break for it.
Can he speak?
He can do whatever. Yeah, you can shout. Yeah, sure. Or
Yeah.
speak. It's quite noisy in here, but yeah, sure.
He'll try and roar to them to move further away.
Yeah, I'm in a wife. You can hear that probably. Anyone with acute sense hearing will hear it because of the roar of the place. So that's definitely 2. As you will hear the echoing noise of him going, keep moving away. His fire is barely swirling around him. Through your vision, you're beginning to see slight edges of something moving at the edge of the. Oh, don't think about that. But
I'll
you're also
say-
aware that there's something further
I'll
around
say
the corner.
loud enough for him to hear because you're probably closer to the others. Goblin huts. 15 of them.
Oh.
We're stuck between a hut and a goblin place.
Okay, so it's a channeling test because you've not moved yet.
No,
you're-
he told them to move because he's going to break.
Oh, love it. So the first thing I would like is a cool test.
8 successes.
Oh,
Nice.
sweet.
If you
good
can't see
number,
Birdie,
too.
so no.
I said I'd
As
probably still
he
crawl.
pulls, it's going, swirling around, ducks down, and almost tries to duck out from underneath it. Pushes himself from the other side as the space that he inhabited fills with fire. Empirical fire that blasts upwards towards the ceiling. Athletics test. Can you outrun the flame?
Of course.
Oh, wow.
No.
What did you roll?
Force fails.
4 fails. Are you re-rolling?
No.
Then you take a total of 28 damage.
And a quarter of that I take because of my arcane resistance.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I take 7.
You take 7.
Take
yeah,
toughness
yeah,
off.
Yeah.
I take 1 whole wound.
The 1 whole wound. Fire is washing over him from all sides. Unfortunately, your
Very
backpack is not fireproof. Everything held within it is
no.
destroyed.
Did I not state? It's written down on my character sheet. It's flame retardant
It's
cloth.
not. As he pelts forward, his eyebrows on fire.
My grimoire okay?
Yeah, your grimoire's it is, unlike your backpack,
Yeah.
fire retardant.
Yeah.
As his back is steaming from all of the water pouches that he was holding back there that have now burst into flames, water spills,
Smells a bit like a
rising up.
barbecue.
Yeah, totally. As he comes
Don't
around the
care.
corner, his eyebrows on fire, his hair on fire, and then it all goes down, and it's like there was no fire there at all, because he's a freaking bright wizard. As he comes around, he has a slightly red mark on his face.
It's like a flash burn.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah.
There's goblins.
Okay.
In fact, is there battle tongue for goblins?
Yeah.
Yeah. Flash the goblin sign.
I don't understand that.
Well, I kind of speak.
I'm fucking turbocharged right now. Let's go.
We need to get more provisions of this guy because he burned them all.
Goblins.
Yeah.
Or
Goblins.
someone goes on half rations.
So what is the plan?
Or the goblins will
I
have
mean,
some.
he is supercharged right now.
We all stand behind Elric.
Can Loopold have a listen to see if he can get a sense of numbers?
Too loud. The roar from that completely drowns out anything on the other side. It's not even perception test.
Even if he went up to it, like, covered one ear.
If he goes round and gets himself into a stealth position, then
Well, I was going to say, like,
Ching-kong.
up close, everything just short of going right.
so
Yeah.
that's exactly where he is.
Could you does anybody know anything about goblins specifically? Like, are they particularly superstitious or anything like that?
It's very rare for them to mutate.
Yes.
That 3-legged one was an
That's true.
exception.
There's
Well remembered?
there's 15 huts, and I'm guessing they don't live alone.
No, but I'm thinking, if you have that on your doorstep, right, as in a big fiery mess, and then suddenly that big fiery mess comes rushing down, that is terrifying. And then you go, you're a goblin, and you go, ah, and you run away. So maybe we don't do physical warfare, psychological warfare. Or I've read about it because I've got law warfare.
Or both.
Or both.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
we can see if it works.
They do. I think they do have. I think I remember that things like that do work on them. That you don't meet greenskins head on wherever possible.
So what is our plan? Is our plan Elric?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
my
it's-
plan would be to go back and find another way, but I guess that room's
Problem
pretty
going
hot
back,
now.
yeah.
The Elric plan. So Elric, how are you going to manifest said plan through your actions?
He is going to fireball the fuck out of.
Do you have anything that makes you look fiery and impressive? Like flaming sword of ruin,
I mean, I have something that can make me glow.
and you've got something that glows. I think it would be better if we do what Ed suggests and like literally make you look like, I don't know, shadow and flame.
Like a Balrog?
Like a
The Balrog was really 3 PCs in a trench coat.
Yeah. But, like, let's all think, like, what have we got that's literally terrifying? What noises can we make? What, like, we can roar, we can...
Oh, my guns.
I mean, black powder, yeah.
Fireworks!
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Like,
fireworks.
So I think, from what I heard, and it was a very brief interview with a colonel who's been fighting greenskins, but this is the kind of thing that he would do. He wouldn't. You come up with things, big noises, bright lights, and scare them.
But would they maybe just not run to a bigger group instead of?
Well,
us
we
taking
run
them
a
out?
different way.
Did you see an exit sort of somewhere else. A next step for
Wanna
us.
check
I'll have
down?
a look.
Okay, do yourself down. Check, please.
96.
That's
I'll re-roll.
a fail.
Oh, that's 7 successes.
7 successes.
And they have to
good.
be looking for me.
Yeah, they're not looking for you. They don't look in this direction. So as long as you pass, it's not an issue. As you pop out, duck down, realize that if they look in your direction, you're probably fine, but the light's coming this way. So you're just going to be casting shadows no matter how you move.
Big shadows.
And they're potentially going to be pretty big shadows. So 0.1 for that. Because if you step
Shadows
out
are
here,
great.
the shadow will spill out right across the entirety of the cavern.
Is there another exit though?
So Elric, he's got a cantrip, bright aura, which basically makes flames appear around anybody.
Anything we can do
Oh.
to
Yeah.
make ourselves look scarier.
Yeah.
Do you
And
like
bigger,
a legal spell?
and bigger.
Oh no, it's not legal spell for you. That's part of the Bright College
Yeah,
training.
yeah.
and
totally.
exits? Do you want me to do
So
perception?
yes, perception test.
66.
Okay.
Ooh.
6, 9, 15, 16 successes.
Wow. Well, with that,
It's my second perception.
over in that
On
direction,
a 66.
over in that direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. So starting over on the left-hand
Yep.
side, 4 clear exits that you spot. As you duck down and look up, there's one up in the higher area where the huts are up high. You've got the central hut there, which is sitting on its stilts. More huts creeping down to either side. You're going to have to go past huts almost no matter which direction you go. But that direction, there's elven runes.
Ooh.
Let's go that way then.
And in that direction,
What do they say?
Death.
Don't go in here.
Terror, death.
in that direction, in 3 small runes, says something I will tell her only during the break.
My birthday and everyone's teasing me. So please, if you do one thing today, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Join us on Discord. Give us money on the Patreon. Just do anything to save me from this hell.
What? We're back in the room! Welcome back! LAWhammer has just seen something as she comes scurrying back to the rest of the party.
Right. We're going to, and I'll describe roughly where it is, the one we're going to.
They'll need to hug the wall all the way over towards
To the left.
left-hand
Yeah.
side. That's
You'll
right.
need to hug the wall all the way to the left if you're not providing the display. I'll go first. No. What?
No, no, I'm not going to interrupt. No.
No, I won't go first. The display will have to go, and then we'll have to kind of move round with it, I think. Any ideas, law warfare people?
It's just me.
Or warfare
No.
test.
I've got Lord Warfare
Oh,
as well.
nice.
It's in my career, but I haven't taken it yet.
No.
Ditto, I think.
Zero,
Make loads
success-
of noise.
0 successes.
But have you passed?
Yes.
You know only one thing about greenskins. Attack, or flee. So if you don't make them flee, they're going to pursue you till you're all dead.
Oh,
Which means you might be better just not being seen. But if you make them flee, but there's 15 huts, and 15 huts, let's say an average of, let's say they're like halflings. If they're like halflings, there's probably several hundred of them.
I use supernumerate to calculate
Yes, you
that.
do. And you build that up, and you reckon there's probably at least 400, maybe 500 of them, which means that they may not be scared. because they might take strength in numbers.
So I've repondered the initial hypothesis or / plan that we came up with. Might not work.
Why?
Just in case. Well, if we... Sorry. Oh yeah, I got a bit excited. If we scare them, right? Basically, I just think there might be quite a lot of them. And they
So
sort of a strength
too
in
many
numbers.
to scare.
Good, maybe?
So
I don't know.
let's
I would...
sneak then.
It's sort of a percentage. I don't know. If you could... How many fireballs can you do at once?
There's a lot of actually.
Yeah. A
You
lot.
do carry a small amount of concern that if you start, you might not be able to stop them.
Mhm.
How about
Okay, what
how
if we
about-
sneak and if it fails, then we
Then we
revert
do
to
it.
Okay.
Well,
Can you
I mean, I
do
could
what
try
you
it,
can,
but I
and
don't.
I'll do what I can.
I can't do all of you. So,
Can you do those of us who are really noisy?
but the
Hmm.
problem is, I think potentially when I make noise, it stops working.
Right.
So
It
the
doesn't stop
the noisy people is actually probably worse off. Because you'll have to act like normal, and then suddenly you won't know when it stopped working.
What if you look at each
Yeah.
other? If you look at each other and you can see, and somebody, oh no, because you can't look at someone if you can't see them in the first place.
Yeah.
Ah, it's a chicken egg situation.
Just do what you can, and we'll all just creep,
Yes. Yes.
but not
Chicken.
too creepy.
So I would like to know who's potentially not being too creepy but creeping out first.
Alan
Shall I?
Middenheim.
I think I'll go first because I am the creepiest.
So you're intending on making your way out first.
Heard it here first, folks.
So creepy Alamenaway.
Let me just check if I've got a spell that might help.
Oh, and then we'll probably, if it goes wrong, code word. What's the code word?
Charge.
Actually, I think.
I keep saying something.
So if I do Gulgur, it will hide evidence of my passing.
So that means it won't be able to track you.
You would go.
Crunch, 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 girl.
Would it not be better to go last then? Because covering your last tracks would cover everyone's
Doesn't
tracks.
cover anyone else's though.
Oh.
Yeah, you know that.
Oh.
Could you like smudge our tracks?
I mean, loosely, it's a useless spell in this situation.
But also, are we not walking over stone? Like, I don't think
Yeah.
tracking footsteps is the problem.
True. Also, they could
It
probably
also
track us by
tracks,
smell.
Stop smell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
'cause
is-
it stops people from being able to use the track
But-
skill.
But there's literally nothing we can
Yeah.
do about that.
Literally
Okay.
nothing. You're right.
How would that help? Right?
You
So,
override.
yeah, that spell's physical.
But
Well,
I
because
would cast hackles that would give me 6th sense to give me a heads up on if they notice
you're
me.
in danger.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I can say that right now because you're. He is.
We're not very in danger.
Fine. Then I won't
But you
bother
can cast it if
casting.
you want.
There's goblins near.
Okay,
We're in the-
stealth.
Okay.
Oh.
5 successes.
So you peel out. You've got the talent that means that you always count as passively.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Which means they need to actively look in this direction, which they're not. Okay, so you creep out. You make your way along very carefully, and in the distance, you see the first goblin making his way across, the one that's separate from up there. He is moving along, and at his side there is a small creature about so big with a small tail kicking out, a couple of feet in front of it. As the goblin to the side takes a bit of what it's eating, tosses it down, and it goes, and its mouth opens like that. All you saw was a tongue. As the goblin kicks it, and it rolls over a little bit, and it goes coming back up to him, kicks it, it rolls over a bit, comes running back up to him. You can't hear it. The roar, the distance, even with your sharp ears, you can't hear it, but you can almost hear it. It's like one of those images you see that even though there's no sound playing, you can almost go thud, thud, thud.
It looks like they're playing a game.
As it then, as you reach almost the far end, then from there you can see up to the top one, and you see the rise of one that's bigger than the hut. It's red, and across its back is bulbous growths of fungus.
A troll?
Nope. The same as the small one.
Oh, right. Oh, got
With
you.
an enormous maw. Open. Tongue hanging out to the side. You think it might be asleep. A leg kicks out to the side. Chunk of leg, so wide, going to claws, each one of which are about the length of your arm. A leg that moves slightly as it scrapes and causes some stone to fall off the edge where it is.
How big is the tunnel we're going to?
Big enough for it to get down it.
Shit.
As you reach the other side and pass by the ruins, running your fingers across them, you were right. She hasn't said anything yet, so... She's reached the other side. You can not see her anymore. She's moved out of line of sight. You're not sure how well you're going to be able to make it across because you'll be fine. You're blind. The rest of them aren't. And you're going to need some form of light when you start moving into the darker passages.
It's fine. I never
Yeah,
go
but
back.
that will be seen
Yeah, true.
by the goblins.
Just,
There'll be no hiding it. Any light to see
Maybe it's
by
your
is
time
light
to
to be
lead
seen
me.
by.
yeah, true.
Maybe we form like a human chain.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you wish to do that.
I'll
Yeah.
maybe do a prayer first, especially now that you mentioned the sound still. Perhaps your clinkly clanks will be fine.
Yeah.
So we might as well.
Over there, you see a goblin, but seemingly much bigger than the other one you saw. The only reason you notice is because you get a bit of scale, because he passes in front of the little bouncy one. It's probably twice the height of the other goblin. Still a goblin.
So scared.
It's still a goblin. It's low down, and it's got thick, wiry muscles. This one's at least 6 and a bit foot tall. As it looks from side to side, okay, and you see it leap down, drops about 20 feet, gets up and lopes over towards one of the huts at the back, and then pushes in. The hut itself begins to shake slightly from whatever is inside that hut.
The huts are rocking.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bow and an arrow and get ready to try to make a noise in another direction to kind of like draw attention away from those guys.
In the darkness, you start trying to find a good place.
Yep.
What are you going to aim at? Here is your general potentials. Stone. There's lots of it. Huts. 15 of them at 2 core levels. Ground level, the higher level. The enormous red thing is on the top level. There's a couple of goblins down there, plus the one that dropped in and went into that hut down on the lower level. That's the broad areas. What's your aiming plan as we find out what they're about to
The
do?
giant red thing?
Giant red thing! Love it! I like your style!
It'll make a noise.
Engage it.
It'll
Yeah.
distract.
Oh no, I love your style.
it won't know where it came
okay.
I won't know where it came
For our stealth conga line, who's going first?
Well, let me do a prayer first.
Okay, love it. Go for it.
And I'll quickly explain, especially because Emmanuel is new to this, walk quietly, creep, but, don't do anything other than that to try and sneak around. Just walk with conviction.
Casual
stealth
quiet.
is fine.
Yeah, stealth is fine, but
This isn't a crowd. So the opposite is the
yeah,
case.
I guess.
Stealth is everything.
there isn't anyone here.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, stealth for what you're worth. Just in case it doesn't work.
Kath has a question.
Yes.
Well done, buddy. Obviously, I'm in armour.
Yeah, plus
But
2
I
difficulty
need
for all
to
stealth
roll.
tests.
But I have 15 advances in stealth underground. Did
That's
they?
good. Well,
help
it means
at
you've
all?
got stealth on the ground, so you've got
Yeah.
the skill. That's it.
All
You
right.
just need the
Okay.
difficulty's 2, so you've got 2 advances. You're not full plate. You're in full plate. The difficulty will be 5.
Okay.
So you can still use stealth.
Yeah.
It's just you need 5 successes to get an actual success.
Yeah, but I can't give it to anybody else. So
So,
fuck you guys. I rolled just 0 success.
so it's just you.
Just me.
How many times you got a bite?
Oh, but by face, so I can get two more.
Okay.
So I
now-
can do one more.
So you can do one other person. So who's right behind you? Who have you got holding onto your hips in your stealth conga line?
Or who's in front of you?
Who's in front of
Probably
me?
the last, right?
I don't know. Am I the last? And
I'd imagine
one,
you'd
2,
put
3.
the father first because he doesn't need the light, so he
Yep.
can lead
Oh
us.
yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
He can go down a path that's clear.
And then you'd probably not want to have Birdie right behind him, just
You'd
because
probably
there's
want
too much
Emmanuel right
concentration of
behind
Yeah,
noise.
Emmanuel right behind as well.
Yeah.
Hoo, hoo.
Elric will go at the back.
He's like a soldier.
Because then you're ready to blow it up. if You need to be.
Well, then we'll do it in 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, and I'll roll.
Oh no, you're choosing.
Am I choosing? Okay.
Yes, you're choosing.
I'll probably be.
He's at the front, so you're not touching him. It has to be
Might be-
someone
it
you're
might be
touching.
behind
Who's
got the
Emmanuel?
highest
Yeah,
stealth.
probably behind Emmanuel. So
What's your
So
stealth?
that means it's Emmanuel or whoever's behind you. Who's
Which one
behind
did
you?
Gerhard?
What?
we're probably.
It's Gerhardt then. So it's Gerhardt who's
what's
behind
your
you with his
stealth?
hands on your hips. Or it's you. You can boom chicka wow wow all you want.
Okay.
Never mind.
That's
I'll give it to Gerhardt because he's used it before,
Sounds good.
and Emmanuel
Gerhardt it is.
seemed more athletic.
I mean, Gerhardt is pointing in the wrong direction there. Right. So
I feel
the
that.
pair of you, you won't be dragging anyone's attention. The rest of the conga line might be. So stealth test, please.
Oh dear.
I really don't
Do
think
we
this
still
matters.
need to roll,
No, good
even though?
Yes, you still need to roll.
What does it do for us?
2 successes.
Holy shit balls.
I mean, no successes, but I passed.
But it's a pass.
3 successes.
Okay.
My 10 die
3
was out of
successes, so you're
sight.
difficulty 2.
And I was
That's
just
one
like,
success.
oh, what is it?
Yeah, so even
Emmanuel.
Birdie's passed.
What's Emmanuel's stealth?
40.
No, she failed.
Oh,
Yeah,
And
and
you bitch, Emmanuel.
You can use your fortune points.
Oh yeah, well,
Yeah, yeah.
it's only 40%, but it's worth a pot. No, that's worse. That's so much worse.
To be fair, she's
Can
very
she
new
use
to
my
this.
divination rerolls? I
She-
see this in the signs.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Yeah, totally.
Come
More
on,
chance.
Andy.
You said, yay.
Well,
No.
it's a fail, but no degrees of fail.
Okay, so it's just
So
a
it's
fail.
what?
Yeah.
So you
41.
could spend a fortune point to
45.
make her
Ah.
pants, right?
No, you can only buff it. Buff it up.
No, you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
divination.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. That's cool. No, I'm cool with that.
Nice.
No, I'm cool with
Yeah,
that.
because you've got less fortune point to use when
Yeah.
it all goes horribly
I am
wrong.
cool with that. Right, so that having been done,
He's not on
Um,
our side.
you make your way as stealthily as you can across. You're holding your bow, watching them go. You're making a small snaking path.
I imagine we're super loud to Alamanoite still, though.
Yep.
Even though we're quiet.
Having said that, though, the roar
Yeah.
of the distant lava cave makes you significantly more stealthy than you normally would be.
Awesome.
Your shadows, however, they are potentially quite detectable. But having said that,
I mean, mine might not be.
pardon?
Mine might go, now's the time for
Having
discretion.
said that, though, there are two things of note here. Number one, they don't look this way.
Yeah.
It's more, does the shadow cross anything that it probably shouldn't? Something the father can't see, but something within him can. I would like you to do a perception test on your perception.
Well, it's a crit.
Is that bad?
I don't know if it's
the
bad or
shadow
not.
takes over.
It's 9, 10, 11, 12 successes on a crit.
And as you're making your way along, cringe ever so slightly when the voice in your head says, in language old worlder, duck. As he goes down. Your initiate drops down as well.
Is it like
Hopefully
a
there's a little
Mexican
ripple.
way
Yeah.
of
Oh,
ducking?
I don't know. It depends on whether she ducks or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, you duck down, which means it's now
Yeah.
Gerhardt. Do you duck?
Yeah.
She's ducked down, which means who's after Gerhardt? It's you.
Yes.
Ducking. Okay, I would like a stealth test.
Nope.
I duck to no man.
3 successes.
Okay, nice,
Nice.
perfect. And you're ducking as you move down as well. And from the other side of the hut, where you'd seen that goblin go in, the goblin comes out. And it's big. Long snout. As it looks from either side to either side, and a bunch of other goblins come out, scurrying around. Some of them not much older, taller than about 4 foot, 5 foot. Others a little bit taller, it's about 6 foot, almost reaching the height of this one. They're in varying sizes from that to that. They are getting armed, it appears. Shields getting strapped on. One of them's pulled out a rather rusted-looking blade and looks really quite excited. Another one bounces up and down at the side and is clearly as over the bigger one turns around and smacks it across the face as it laughs, its teeth glinting in the air. You can't hear it, but you can hear, stay down.
Very much stay down.
As it lopes forward and which you do hear an enormous throated but you hear it nothing more than a off in the distance, like a hollow roar over the roar of the flame. You can catch it. To everyone else, there's nothing happening. It's all darkness over there. But you're watching that as out from the various huts, more of them look up and around, and the tongue pulls in to the big one as it
They
bouncing.
don't look like they've seen me or.
Not yet.
Yeah,
You're not shouting anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Bouncing between them, lots of little red, blue, and green miniature versions of the bigger one. The big one shrugs slightly with one of its limbs, and one of the large fungus pieces breaks off against the wall and slops down to the ground. It's wet. As it splashes
Yummy
slightly,
mushroom.
and bits run out of it.
Keep it together, Alan. Anyway, keep it together.
As it doesn't so much get up as rolls off of the higher area and drops down on the edge of one of the huts, breaking it entirely, and then gets up and comes over. On the other side, the big one looks over like that and runs up to it and hops up into its back, grabs onto two of the bits of fungus and points, and they start
Not in our direction.
going down one of the side tunnels. Go now.
What are they fighting? I mean, I'm not going to ask now, but in my head, what are they fighting?
Okay, as Leopold gets up and behind him, initiate goes, comes in afterwards as well. I trust you're going
Yes,
to go.
of course.
Yep, good. Trust you're going to go.
Yes.
Yep, trust you're going to go.
Yep.
Trust you're going to go. Stealth tests all round.
Oh no.
It's really tempting to say no, isn't it?
You don't
I'm
think
not
you
going
Nah, screw stealth.
Come on. 2 successes again.
You're on fire.
I rolled a 21 and 20 last time.
Nice. How bad is your...
I failed by
38.
4 points.
So you just failed. Anyone else
I
fail?
just failed.
Same 0 that
Yeah.
fails.
Emmanuel passed though.
So 0 fails. There is a chance you'll be spotted.
Success.
It's not a huge chance,
Oh, no, it's success.
but there is a chance. Not with 0-4, there's not.
Nice.
Not quite enough. They're clearly taken up with what's going on over on the other side. Up on the top, the lookout looks down and starts lobbing stones down into the middle of them and taking pot shots at once. One of which you see gets hit and looks really confused as if it's trying to see. And for a brief moment, you think it looks back. That indeed was the one that could have spotted you. But it didn't. As they form into a group, I would like a perception test, a perception test, and a perception test.
1 success.
Good.
Oh my god. That's my third crit on a perception test. It's mad.
I'm glad she's on our side.
What flavour is it of
It's like-
perception? 10, 17, 18 successes.
She sees all.
I got 1.
I failed.
One's not enough because it's difficulty 10.
Why
didn't
even
expect-
make me roll?
Because you might have critted.
I don't have
or done
Lindsay's
really well.
dice. I don't have the cheap dice.
As where you are, looking over, You can see the one on the back moving. Then you see what looks like almost green shoulders shimmering out above it. Shrugging, muscular, shimmering in the air as they caper and gibber underneath. Shimmering, moving. And the one on the top is doing this. And then just goes and bellows. And all of the goblins do the same. You can hear that one. That's coming off from the darkness over there.
Horrifying.
And there's quite a number. As they start spilling out and coming out from the crevices, some of them waking up now. There was far more than you had guessed with your quick 15 huts. The 15 huts were used for something. They're basically one giant hut. And the huts are like individual storage for certain things, perhaps for, who knows, officers or something. As you make your conga line and you arrive, of course. Yes, Sergeant Hawk. I'm here reporting for duty. Gerhardt's opinion of the goblins. Love it. As you arrive, where Alaminowith is, with her bow pointing off towards the darkness, looking pretty goddamn intimidated.
All they can see is my eyes. I look fine.
We recognise the tension in those shoulders.
Yeah.
And you move into the darkness. There is an extremely unlikely chance. It's extremely unlikely that because of what's going on with you, they decide to come this way. And the Goblin War Boss changes his plan. I'm going to let you roll it. I'm going to let Kath roll. It's a D100 roll.
Okay.
And if you roll 100, they come this way. That's it. Nice and easy.
22 crit.
Nice. Love that. Yeah. They're obviously completely caught up with what they're doing as they bundle off in that direction. And as you see them pass you, the PCs making their way by you, over into the shadows and darkness of the cavern, which would have been big enough for the gigantic thing that you saw there. The big one in the middle bounces on long limbs. And as it moves into the cavern, the top of the cavern behind it breaks slightly and crunches, even though there's nothing touching it. As they make their way through. You don't know. You just don't know. But you're glad it's not coming this way. You're in the calm of an old lava tube that makes its way through the heart of the Fauschlag. What's your plan?
There's elven runes on this one, that's why I picked it. It says shrine, like sort of like really big shrine, like this might be the way to the flame.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. Okay.
Once we're away from the cavern, shall I attempt another augury?
Just keep moving.
You need to stop to do your
all
augury.
the
Yeah.
things we
Wait,
could
won't take me.
do.
Just give me a second. Come on. Oh, I thought that was a crit, but it's not.
Oh no,
I
can
is
see it. It's...
chance that the bringing in of the divine into the area alerts them.
Oh.
If you roll 70 or higher, they're aware you're here. You're rolling it.
Oh, roll another.
Right now.
I think that.
70 or higher,
17.
they know you're here.
Oh, now can I use a divination reroll?
You can.
Because I rolled exactly 17. That's worse. Can I, Andy? Can I?
Yeah.
Spend a fate point of. Oh no, I don't want to. Well, you know what? They're going to catch us anyway, so I can spend.
Wait, hold on.
I was really going to catch
You might get an offer.
But what I was going to say is maybe if we're going to get caught anyway, I spend a fate point to make sure that the augury rolls a crit, in the hope that that leads us to Marguerite.
You just fucking pelt it.
Yeah, like we're going to get chased, but at least we definitely know the way to go.
But they're going to be faster than us.
And a lot of them.
Well, faster than some of us.
No, they're going to be faster than all of us.
Not you, probably.
Well, they know we're here. That doesn't necessarily mean they'll come.
No. That massive squig. They've got
There's-
big Muslims doing some stuff.
But if you spent a fate point to fix that roll, then you could make it under 70. They don't know you're here.
Yeah, but all we get is they don't come. I mean, are they going to come?
What, if you roll 70 or higher? Yes.
Then yeah, I'll spend a fate point to fix that roll.
But is there not like an offer to come?
But I will also add an offer in that roll too. If you take a corruption point, you can re-roll it again.
Oh yeah, that's fine. This is why I didn't take any early points, so that when it fucking matters.
That's what I'm saying. Hold on, let's see.
Save them for now.
Come on.
No, that's worse.
No!
That's 88.
Lie! Don't tell us lie!
Oh my god! What's happened to my dice? Why can I roll that for the augury? That would have been a crit.
Far above the Fauschlag, Morsley comes out from behind a cloud and grins. You can re-roll that if you want for another corruption point.
Oh,
Yes.
more. Yeah. Yum.
Change dice. Change dice.
These are the only dice I got, baby.
Don't call me baby.
Sigmar rolls with
How
me.
dare you
Come on,
demean me.
Sigmar.
Yay.
Yeah, 0-5.
Down beneath
That was
Morsley
costly for your
as
soul.
it shifts out and stops above Middenheim. The goblins down below. Not that you're fully aware of this. Stop. You can hear them. No, you can't. But they nevertheless stop as the leader amongst them looks up, feeling the bad moon high above.
Yeah, right.
And then bellows again, a mighty roar, which you will hear echoing down your ass chamber. As you know which direction it is. You can feel it. It's in your dice. You can see it. They're almost pointing the way. One of them landed right on the other. It's slightly cocked. You know the way. You can. You've gone the right path. You're actually in the right place.
Huzzah.
You think you know where to go. And assuming, this is for Margarita, isn't it? Margarita. Assuming that none of you roll the same number on a d10,
Oh.
it's going to be cool running today.
I'll say my number last.
4.
4,
One.
1,
6.
6,
5.
5,
4.
4,
8.
8.
Can one of us spend a fortune point?
You can if you've got fortune points.
I've
too.
got one left. How many?
I've
Where-
got more, so I'll spend it.
Yeah,
So cagey.
3, yeah.
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 What did you get?
6.
Okay, 5.
Yeah.
Mm,
It's all fine.
4.
It was just us.
We're okay.
It's an hour later as they're making their way down deeper into what appears to be relatively
Do we have time for Gerhardt to patch us up, those of us who've taken wounds?
Yes, if you wish to stop.
Yeah.
Nah, I'll be fine.
And-
I've only
okay.
taken
Well, hang
4.
on. Hang on.
Everyone's
Everybody's
looking a bit
taken some.
scorched.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
only a little.
Yeah.
Can we move
No, you don't
further
look scorched
away?
because you're in armor, so you don't look scorched.
No.
I mean, you are scorched, but you don't look it.
But I've only taken 5 wounds
That's
out
hardly
of
any.
52.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
Like
need to
somebody.
heal. Like,
That's enough. There's
please.
enough
Just
issues.
for the flesh wound.
Right, I've got hang on. I got
Are
a
we
little bit
stopping?
burnt.
No.
No,
No.
we're moving.
No.
What you just?
We're schmoving.
Look, okay, it's really fucking quick, and it could really help. Like genuinely. You've got burnt. Right, fine. I've got
I'm
a sound.
We can catch up.
I'm not taking my armour off just for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need
Considering I can
Yeah.
do it as a free action, I can probably slap a lead of Vaseline on
to.
some of
You
these
do
burns.
indeed have field.
Yeah, so if he has that, we wouldn't need it.
He's got the trait
Field dressing
for
twice.
field dressing. Yeah, quite.
Yeah. So I can.
Yeah, I'm quite happy for you doing that on the move.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, so no necessity for stopping.
Could you do me too, please?
Oh,
For
Now?
For research.
right. Oh yeah, no, that is a good point. No, 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 no.
The research.
How does elven skin burn?
Yeah, it apparently doesn't.
That's it.
That's loads for you. Just you're back up to 4.
So
Yes, Your Honor,
interestingly,
I'm looping this elf for research.
interestingly, her skin doesn't show the same sort of damage. And you've been attempting to theorize exactly how her skin works, because her skin doesn't seem to have the same sort of everything. I mean, it doesn't really have lines, pores in a way that you recognize them. It looks smooth. It doesn't even have proper wrinkles when she bends all the time. It seems to be slightly more malleable. Everything about her just looks alien and weird.
Right.
And she does have things like the swirl of almost a fingerprint, almost, but not quite. It's different. Everything about her is just a bit different, but you didn't expect her to respond to heat differently.
Okay.
I mean, it's not that it's not hurt her. She's clearly hurt. It's just it's different. Her skin, if anything, is slightly paler.
Right. Slap it on. Just 1 second. Also, just get a little closer and say, look. I know you might, you sort of have a bit of a feeling of loss about you at the moment. Sometimes it helps to just push it away a little bit for a while, and you can deal with it at another point. It's just what we do.
No,
Okay.
it
Just
doesn't
letting
work
you know.
for me. It's always there, so I just have to keep going.
Because you're an elf? No.
That's the second anthology, psychology.
Yeah.
Regression.
Right.
Just do it.
All right. Well,
Thank you
I
for
bought
your thoughts.
that's okay. I bought wine and drugs, so if you want to
What drugs did you bring?
I've got £1 of weird root with me.
Wow, a pound of weird. Could you patch up Emmanuel as well?
Oh, right, okay.
Because
Yeah,
she's a
certainly.
little.
Yeah, I don't need drugs.
She's got
yet.
hardly any wounds, so. Yeah.
Slap that on her. Yeah, it's so much.
Oh yeah, how much did you give?
So plus 2, 9. So at minimum, if I heal you, you're getting 13 wounds back.
Thank you muchly. I am a
If that
fool.
covers everybody, basically, I think.
No,
Yeah.
you do one each.
One each?
Yeah.
Well, no, at
But he
minimum
has
with the
rolled
rolls
each, but
is
he's
what I mean.
minimum.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you don't fumble it.
So,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, fine.
So you're just rolling to see if you fumble.
Yeah, fine. Yeah,
That's
all
it,
good. That's
perfect.
everyone. Yeah.
Good. Okay. So,
That's almost my
we
fault.
stop for food. We lay up a camp. We're in an area that does not get approached that often down this particular part. The next day, you're unaware of what's going on upstairs. You're aware of how the palace, which, unbeknownst to everyone, was ever so slightly laced with warpstone,
Oh, yeah, of
reacts
course.
to the bad moon that has risen. That bad moon also was a sign for a very different group of people underneath who have chosen to use that moment to do an attack of a different kind. But you also don't know that. What you do know is what happens the next day. After breakfast, feeling a bit colder, away from the heat of what you'd experienced the day before, you make your way down deeper and begin to feel the chill. It's beneficial having a priest with you. So far, you have made about 50 choices for direction. You've been uncertain, unsure repeatedly, but now you know. No, this way. No, this way. No, this way. And whilst there was one cavern that was filled with shimmering crystals, they had their own internal light. And whilst there was another cavern that was filled with particularly large fungus, some of them significantly taller than a full-standing Leopold.
It's a big mushroom.
Yeah, it's a pretty big mushroom.
PLF.
And whilst you do pass by multiple creatures of various types. They're mostly small spiders, cave things. Many of them are translucent, wriggling away. Most of them just want to be away from where you are. You have a couple of advantages on your side. One of the largest is someone's exuding, actually. And that makes many creatures shy. They just go away unless they're predators. But you've got the guidance of a god behind you. You don't go down some of the darker caves. Well, they're all dark. It's just you don't know which ones are the darker caves. This way, that way, this way, that way. Thanks, Fate Point. I would like a perception test from the father and from Alan anyway.
Come on. One time in a row.
Just roll well for once.
11 successes.
Nice.
5
Nice.
successes.
You're the one that catches the screaming.
And does he recognise it as...
It's almost like you're reliving your vision.
We're close.
It's maybe 20 minutes later. That's how far the screams were echoing to you. You hear it after about 5 minutes. You begin to hear the echoing screams. The rest of you begin to hear it after about 16, 17 minutes. And then the last 3 minutes you've been hearing the screams coming through.
Can Elric do a perception check for the winds?
Yes, you should do so. Go for it.
No.
Good.
Ignore me.
Love it. Who is creeping forward at the fore? You've been leading the entire way, but now you're obviously moving into a different situation, so you may prefer someone else to go out forward if you wish. It's entirely up to yourselves.
That's all. I mean, that still feels right for Loophole to be at the front.
Yep.
So.
That makes sense. And who's behind Lowfold?
Is this a sneaking around situation?
Well, you're not exactly shouting and screaming.
Not me then, because I'm not the sneakiest.
Probably Alan.
Okay, Alameda just at the shoulder.
And if he knows we're approaching
Yeah.
Dagmar, so
Yeah.
Elric's going to the front
The
as
two
well.
wizards.
Yeah, makes sense.
And a
Two wizards and a priest walked into a bar.
Yeah.
The two wizards and the elf.
Yeah. Okay, as you make your way forward. I missed that.
Just
It
a
was
second,
good.
right, Harrisy, don't worry.
Oh,
about
of
that.
course.
It was very good.
Perception test. Perception test.
Come on, I'll roll well this time.
Perception test.
8.
Nope!
1 success.
I'll re-roll that, and I still fail.
Oh, hold on. The screaming gives way for a second and reinvigorates much louder and with more pain. And you think now that you're close, as in maybe a corner, maybe another corner, maybe another one, and you'll potentially be at not necessarily the source, but the area where the source of that scream is coming from. Now's the time to make whatever plans you want to make because you're about to potentially confront whatever you're going to confront.
I mean, I think she's...
All right. Load guns.
And then load the gun.
Clip that.
I mean, realistically, we'd probably like leave our backpacks and stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
Put them down. Love
Great
it.
idea.
Elric,
Traveling lights.
So do you think Dagmar's going to be nearby?
I don't know, it might not even be in the same place. It was impossible to tell. But
They may have some kind of link that you can draw.
Maybe can you dispel something that's already there?
I can try. If I can see, if I can try.
Who's going first? Who is going first?
Shall I go first now?
oh,
As the sneaky.
before you, at some point, I have given you the spite back.
Spike lights.
No.
By the way.
Put down your back. Are you creeping forward? Do yourself a stealth test, please.
7 success.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
Okay, you get forward, and it's a long, thin corridor. Leads out into a wider road. You've been here. You even know where to go. It's through that door over there. That leads to the very room where the summoning was done. And it was too tight, and the big huntsman moved through this area. Yeah, you know exactly where to go. It's that way. It's that way. You can go back and tell them if you wish.
I know where we are. We're back where we were before. At the summoning.
Perfect.
Good.
Okay.
And
But they
let's
said it was the way to the shrine. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It is a shrine of some sort.
let's go save Marguerite then.
There are wolves.
So, are we moving as a group? Are you moving ahead? What's the plan again?
3 Alamanowithe, Elric,
Are
Leopold front.
Are we asking Emmanuel to stay back here with our packs?
I wouldn't want to leave it too far behind.
Maybe
She should
just
hang
round
back.
the corner.
It needs to be close enough that if the huntsman comes, she can reach us.
If Dagmar is inside us 3, and he's pointing to Birdie and Leopold, we rush him. We just try and hack them to pieces,
I am so here.
distract them, and see what we can do.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Make your way across. Who's at the front? Are you still stealthy in front, or is other people moving in before?
Just point being stealthy.
I'll just
Fucking
keep on.
Flashbang, let's go.
Nice.
Well, I guess we
Is if
try
you
and be quiet to get into
You
position.
stealth up to the corner.
Yeah, to
like-
see what's in
So,
there.
yeah,
and,
it's
you
a
know,
door.
As we're walking towards
From
you.
memory, wasn't there a door?
Yeah.
Doorway.
Yeah.
Doorway.
Just
Doorway,
a doorway.
there's no
not
actual
Door.
the-
Oh,
I
I
still-
thought we had.
It's not an actual door. It's
Yeah.
a doorway. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I still think I'm pretty stealthy enough to
Mm.
get pretty close.
As you get closer, the screaming is exceedingly loud, and she is still in exactly the same chamber where you left her.
Is she the only sound we can hear? Her
Yes.
screaming. And is there any Lupol can kind of sense people through walls, like
There's nothing that he's sensing in particular.
not even her.
Yeah, Dagmar is probably.
Actually, no, not even her.
Maybe because she's dead though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, I'll just keep on going.
To be
Okay, you're
fair,
going to look
she's
around the
always
corner
been
into the room.
Exactly.
The room itself.
Good.
She is floating and spinning ever so slightly on a kilted axis. Her skin is tight to her body. Her body, in turn, is emaciated, like something had sucked out most of the life from her. Her face itself is still largely intact, and a writhing, lightning, coruscating purple twist is spinning from her on all sides. And it's moving up through the wall and ceiling to your far left-hand side in that direction. She is clearly in absolute agony. Her life is also clearly being taken from her.
But no one else is in the room.
No one else is in the room.
Okay.
She'll beckon for everyone to.
And that's what you're confronted with. That.
Right.
And it's wrapping around him, pulling off and upwards.
Upward.
As in all,
Yeah.
most of it's coalescing and this purplish energy. Those of you with... you've got the talent. I think you're the only one with it, actually. Which side?
No,
Oh, you know which
it was
side?
never available to
No,
me.
no, you've never had it. Good. So, no, don't need to worry about it. But you got your second
Second
sight.
sight,
Yeah,
yeah.
you got second sight. Go for that one. That's actually the talent
that's-
I made. I just called it wrong.
Perception.
Yes.
I should really read the talents. That can be a boon. So it'd be quite nice if I got an extra for my perception because it's pretty crap.
Second sight, magic. Max. No, it doesn't give you a bonus.
No boon. So close.
You can
No, one
detect
fail.
plus second sight winds of magic without a test. For the rest, you have the sight.
Yeah, which means that you can do a perception test to perceive.
Does that mean
Actually-
I can too?
Do you have this talent?
No, but
Then no. No, you can only see the winds you've got the channeling skill for. That's it.
Technically, I've sort of got every
No, you
single
don't.
one.
Do you have the talent?
No.
No, there we go. Good try. As she spins in place, her face a mask of agony, the screams dreadful. Everybody cool test themselves.
Is the summoning
Can
circle still
everybody
intact?
see
It
me?
is not.
Everybody can see Birdie, so +1.
Sure.
2 successes. I'm cool.
3 successes.
Nice.
I'm
8
not
successes.
cool. I'm not cool.
Take the stress point, please.
3 successes.
Leopold is cool, which he might need to be. I think maybe I can save her, but it might involve hurting her.
More
Right.
than she's
Well,
being hurt already.
You're shouting. She's that
Yeah.
loud.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Say to the
You
listeners,
don't
I
need to shout,
won't,
but you can
but-
say,
Yeah.
oh, run.
Hold
And that guy
for
can
1
save
second,
her.
Father. We can maybe try.
Does it look like you can dispel it? Doesn't look like there's a spell, does there?
There's
I mean,
something active.
there's
There's a
definitely
tether.
something going
The
on.
Yeah.
only thing I can think of is when she very first saw Barakul, she says Barakul sucks magic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Slice.
Slice it.
Cut the tether. Good shout.
Do you want to do it? Because you can see.
Look at his eyes. Do you want to do it? No!
Will you tell me where to
Yeah.
slice?
That sounds more
Yeah. No,
sensible.
I thought you described that you were seeing
see it, we
the
can
thing
see it.
coming.
Yeah, you
I
She
can
doesn't-
see
Wait.
the thing. The
Yeah.
But that might just be like the manifestation.
Yeah.
You might be able to see something that I missed.
Okay. I'll have
Yeah,
to do
you've
that.
already done that test.
Can he
Um,
really focus?
I mean, yeah.
Can he use his trick
No,
to see the absence of the wind?
He's already tried.
No, I didn't say that. I rolled the dice. It's a 99. So I'm not just going to perceive anything ever in
His
this
eyes
game.
explode.
I'll-
Crit to the face.
I will
Lightning
cut it.
searing.
I could try that on that before I try anything on her.
What are you going to do?
But this sacred hammer disrupts magic that is in
Profane.
place. No, that's in place.
Any magic.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
it's
do
in
it.
place.
Do it.
But I don't know if I can. It's in thin air. I'll try the thin air, but I'm worried I might have to hit her.
I'll give you a leg
Love
up.
it when we're using an artifact.
Throw the hammer.
But I'll try it.
Shall
Why
I?
don't you just put it in between her and
Well, I'm going to swing it in between because it's a warhammer. We'll just not merely
You
place
don't
a warhammer.
place a
What does
warhammer.
one place a
Swings a
warhammer?
warhammer with gusto, my dear.
Swing!
And one does it shoulder to shoulder with one's wizard comrade.
Well, I'll take out
Can
Barakul
I-
because I think I might need to do
Go
the
test.
Oh
same.
my god, this is going to be.
Can I position myself so she falls? I can catch her.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
And
Do you
I'm
want me to make
stepping
a
further
Melee
away.
basic test?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, melee basic test, please.
You hit Marguerite.
7 successes.
Oh, nice. So, roll for your weapon is?
If
We don't know.
if that equals the
Mhm.
casting number of the spell, so
Yes.
not the amount that was casting, but the actual casting number, is dispelled.
So, the spell being cast. The spell being cast, unbeknownst to him, or indeed anyone else, is exceedingly simple. One of the simplest spells. And what he's done is he has massively amped it up. Massively so. It had to be simple to make sure she didn't see it coming. It
Just
has a
like
casting
Clever
number
Dagmar.
of
Yeah.
0.
Nice.
Nice.
As your hammer swipes in, and as it does, a golden flash, a flare of 2 golden tails spins out from the center of the purple lightning spinning. Everybody looking in that direction, which is pretty much everyone except for you because you're ready to catch her. Okay, do yourself a perception test, not you.
Because I'm already blind.
Yep.
Perception check.
No, sorry, it's endurance test, not perception.
Oh, cool. 6
no.
successes.
Yay!
That's either really good or really bad.
One success.
3 successes.
And I've got
roll that. Fortune
Andrew,
point.
I've
Yes.
got a cute sense sight, so I'm thinking it might hurt more.
Yeah, anyone with acute sense is automatically going to take
Yeah.
D10 damage as well for the sight. So 1 D10 damage, which is not soaked by anything. How did you do?
Oh,
4
well,
successes.
I
4
just wanted-
successes. Like,
That was lucky.
oh, it's only 1. There you
Yeah.
go. Okay, an almighty golden flash as she falls and she barely weighs anything. She is skeletal. Hardly anything to her. Skeletal enough that now she's out of the magic and you can actually see her body. She's dead.
But she was dead before, so.
Sure. But there's no way anyone could. No.
Yeah, she's not hiding that fact
Dead.
anymore.
Dead. Dead. As she is also not breathing, as her bug eyes in her skeletal face blink.
Ugh.
Yeah, quite. This is not the most attractive you have seen her.
What do you need?
As she says, Garen,
Garen!
I've just wrote a wee message to Sage. I don't know if you want me to say it. It also accompanies a picture that Andy has drawn.
I think I know what this picture is. One has a feeling that it might be somewhat crude and phallic.
Just
Would I be
try
correct?
other fluids first.
Elric will attempt to channel Gyron.
Oh, love it! We actually have someone who can channel Gyron.
Did we manage to steal the wizard's jizz? The jizzard.
The gizzard.
That was my. Right, let's see.
The gizzard from last episode. Holy crap!
Oh, one fail.
One fail as
Although
he
technically,
attempts. Oh.
how does
I'll
No.
tell you.
Ancient Humans is just added to your successes? It
Yeah,
doesn't.
added
But it gives
Yeah.
you a
Pass.
boon.
But he's got to pass.
Yeah,
for
I've got
the
a
boon.
pass.
Spend a fate point. A fortune point.
I don't have any.
Oh,
He's
no.
run out. We are reaching that point in the campaign, dear friends, where often come the end of the session.
Unless he's super chill about the whole thing.
Yeah, no. As he goes, and it's like the Gyron is being sucked from him into her. There, and it's really difficult. Normally, Gyron flows. It's got an easy, washing movement, and in comparison to Actually, which you have to let go, you can't control it. Gyron, you can channel properly. You can weave it and move it and allow the flow. Getting the flow is almost impossible. It's just dripping away. There's hardly anything. You're not sure what to do. You're not sure how to get a good flow here. You've got bare stone beneath your feet. There's no earth. You're not attached to the...
Water skin. Would this help?
Wait.
What if there was some kind of material from a beach?
No, there's not. Because you said it was stupid.
No, the water
Wait, your
skins.
thing's
The
not-
water
I don't have any water skins! I'm going to
Get out to you.
Water and earth may indeed make a difference.
I have a stick from the Feyglade.
Do you
And
not
a
bring
stick
some earth
from a
as well?
Feyglade!
No, I bought
We
earth.
brought
Oh.
sand.
I bought sand and everyone said it was stupid.
Because your plan was we can make
Oh, it was
glass.
like plasma.
All right, so are we going to try and
can make
fashion ourselves a relatively weak attempt to make something vaguely natural out of sand and water and Feyglade twigs?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can't possibly fail again.
I've got some weird root as well. That's natural.
Oh, we are
Sprinkle that on
spread
top.
that everywhere.
No.
No, good. You think?
Could you make him lucky?
I mean, yeah, wait.
Just
Wait.
It's fine. It's fine.
No,
No, but she could maybe give you a wee blessing.
Got this.
Oh,
If you-
come on, 88. Come
If you
on!
ever believed in
This
me,
is the moment we need
I
it!
don't believe in the dice. Come on.
it's the dice.
I'm gonna pray.
Fine.
You have to be quick before he rolls.
Ooh, that's so bad. I'm
Come on, I'm itching.
Oh,
It's a 99.
99!
Oh, no.
Love it!
That's so embarrassing.
That's a Wrath
Take
of the
yourself
Gods.
a good old Wrath of the Gods.
Yay.
You got the book. Let's use
I've
one
got
of
it
the
right for
book.
me.
No, you've got the one there.
Roll a
Perfect. Roll
D100.
it.
Have you got any sin points right now?
Yes, I have 3.
Okay, so we're adding 30 onto this. Roll.
Okay.
You're going to lose a sin point, though. That's something.
Told you not to do it.
71.
So that's 101.
101!
Castigation! You are reduced to 0 wounds. Then gain the unconscious condition.
It could be worse. Could have been castration.
As you reach out to him, thinking, Renald. Renald would, and you hear a tunk, tunk, tunk in the corner as you twist round, and the little spite in there is looking at you going, and you don't even finish your prayer. You just look at it. You just look at it as it looks at you. And you look at it, it looks at you. And you realize that it wants to be there. As crack! Your back, it goes at an angle. Her leg twists. She crashes into the ground.
Okay.
Her neck, as she shakes, foam coming from her mouth.
Just having a vision.
One arm flings backwards, smacks against Alamenowith. possibly the blade. It's going to be pure luck. If you roll 50 or more, your fingers go straight through the blade. If you roll under 50, it doesn't.
What? Oh, Barracool.
Yeah, Barracool, you got it like this.
Okay. 60. Oh.
You can take a corruption point.
Oh, what's my corruption?
Does Alamenowith have a chance to move the blade
Nope.
away?
I do have combat aware.
Great.
I would like my fingers.
Would you like to take a corruption point?
Oh no, don't do that.
You might
here.
get more fingers after that.
She might hit the flat of the blade.
It's a 50-50
You might hit
shot.
the flat of the blade.
That was not what Andy said.
Good odds. Good odds.
Are
Sure
you
thing.
rolling? The spirit.
Yeah, I'll reroll. Oh, 39.
As your hand wallops against the side of Barracool, wrapping your knuckles against the back of it. As you pull back, your blade pulls against it as she collapses on the side. This very well may interrupt you.
So I've been sitting on this for a while.
Yeah.
I did crit the roll. And then it's a total of 17 successes.
Oh, I love that, particularly
Yeah.
because she disrupts you, and you're like, oh, it's down to 50.
It's all that
It's just
sand.
got me too. Yeah.
Maybe coarse, but it's great.
500 grams of
Shoes
sand.
off, feet into the ground. Nothing like a bit of weird route to help that out too. As you flow rushing channel of Gyron into her. And it's absorbed. And that's not normal. Normally, it would enter into the flows of the body. Normally, it would move into the living flow of the body. But no, it's absorbed. She doesn't need the Gyron. She's consuming it. You've never seen the ilk before. She seems to be consuming magic directly. And it's slightly disturbing, both how much you've channeled. Well done, Elric. Throwing that Gyron out in there as you watch the skin move, shift, fill. As she... her muscles almost recede because her skin was pulled right into the muscle and they've begun to waste and they slowly fill out until she's lying there, naked, looking beyond fine. Fine. Well, you've never seen that or anything like that before. As she coughs.
Lubo's just going to dart the door and beckon Emmanuel to.
We do have a very broken Yumi.
Well, I'd rather assume he was.
Yeah, I've got that one.
She's twitching, moving, twisting. You don't even know what to do. She might need to be held down before she hurts herself more.
Stop moving. Somebody help me.
You take another
30.
D10 damage.
Oh,
Roll D10. This is a critical.
I'm holding Marguerite. I can't help.
No, somebody else help me.
+5 critical. As whack! Your hand goes out and you break a finger. Okay, it hits badly. The finger is pushed right back.
I mean,
And
I
in
try and
your
help, but it might make
heart.
things worse.
I got it.
You know. You listen to it. You don't know what that means, but you know it's bad. Crack.
And I'll put Barracool away.
Okay.
And go to help him.
We've had the
Like,
sorry.
we
go on.
saw we saw when we were in with Stefan that they put a thing in his mouth when he
Yeah,
does his.
we've had this conversation in terms of stuff in my bag.
Mhm.
I've got an ether-like substance, haven't
Yes.
I? Stuff that can knock her out, so I'll just do that.
Let's see if you can actually get it on her. Okay.
This is potentially going to make things worse.
Oh, I hope you're gonna like back her on the head with your hammer.
I was gonna attempt a healing hand miracle,
Oh wow, I love the combo here.
but I don't. But I mean, I don't. I've got some of these in points. This might go really badly.
I'll be honest. I hope it does.
But I've got to try.
Sigmar!
I did say
Gotta
this was
try.
a shrine.
Yeah,
Try.
you did.
I'll help.
It's not a not. Oh, so it is a Wrath of the Gods, but it is also a pass.
Okay, good. So the healing hands has gone off.
The healing hands works.
But a god is
So-
not happy.
So first of all, yeah, he's probably not happy that I'm helping her. I'm not that surprised.
Or well, let's just repeat what.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Do yourself your
But first of all, like I'm attempting to save her life.
Blessed place.
So she gets 15 wounds.
Oh, nice! That'll make a huge difference. You receive 2 Wrath of the Gods for interrupting a god.
Oh.
So the first Wrath of the God. Okay, takes first.
Whoa!
How dare you?
Loophole is called to Sigmar.
So Wrath number 1.
Wrath number 1. The good news is the second one will be slightly less severe because I've lost a sin
You
point.
lost a sin point. Yeah.
So this one is 77. I have sinned against me. Your god is angry and forces you to enact pray test as your action. For the
Okay.
next D10 plus sin points round as a penance.
Excellent. Okay, right. That works for that one.
So I'm
And
going
for
to
the
fall
other
by
one.
these and start praying.
Okay.
And for the next one,
Very Leopold. Love that.
Yeah.
oh, that's worse.
Oh, love
Oh, that's
that.
much worse. Even though it should be better, it's much worse. It's castigation.
Oh!
Can I?
No, you just can't.
Can I use my last divine reroll?
No, you can't.
I might see that one coming. Oh well.
Take it on her.
I'm
Take it
just
on
like,
her.
stop
You know,
would you?
what are you doing? the worst thing is,
I think
the worst
magic
thing
won this time.
in the other way round, it would have been so much better.
Oh,
But it wasn't.
hilarious. And you shouldn't have listened to it. You listened to it and that was wrong. You just know that with absolute certainty. Crack! Back! Crack!
Well, where was Sigmar?
Are they
helping us for
both
that?
at it?
Yeah, he's at it now. So yeah, we are going to need to intervene with these poor individuals. As there is an outside chance something goes wrong with you as well. Again, purely random. 50-50 chance. And that 50-50 chance is that you thrust your own head into your own hammer.
Oi.
1 to 50, you're fine.
Put Barracool away.
50 or more, not so fine.
17.
Sweet. As your body collapses in two, the hammer clatters down to the ground.
I mean, I'd already,
Although,
it was already on the ground because I had to drop it to lay hands on her.
if it hit your forehead and the Wrath of the Gods stopped, then that could have
That would have away.
That could have been a whole new spiritual dilemma.
Right, Elric he stopped channeling Gyron, hasn't
Yep,
he?
yes, he
He's
has.
going to subdue the father.
Okay, subdue the father. Okay, that is going to be a contested strength, plus he counts as having advantage, though.
Technically, we both have advantage because we
Mhm.
both have
No.
strong back.
I don't have strong back, I've got sturdy.
I've
Is
got
that
strong back, so I've got advantage on all
Sweet, you
strength
both have,
based.
you both have advantage. Brilliant. Love that.
Has she
Never been so happy to
Has she
fail.
She has
stopped?
not.
Hold. I'm going to roll again because I critted.
Nice.
Oh!
What's that? 12, 13 successes?
Gerhardt,
two
he's just
fails.
so strong.
Yeah.
He's just so
Well,
strong.
I'm
As he
still
shrugs
dealing with
his shoulders, comes over to the father, shrugs and then just grabs him, pulls his arms, gets his
And
legs
then
around his
tosses
legs.
his hair back a bit as
Yeah,
well.
and he and falls backwards to the ground.
And one pulls
onto,
unconscious, but still somehow he's like, I've never felt so safe.
onto his back with the father sitting on top of him, his head crunched down into the small of his back because you're so much shorter than him with his legs wrapped around his legs and his arms wrapped around, and then he just flexes down as your body tries to roll, and he rolls his head right underneath your shoulder, so your head, as it bashes backwards and forwards, it's not quite low enough to hit the ground, but it's not going to hurt you because you're beneath it. He
In
will
short,
continue to work.
works.
Yeah.
So that's him secured. Good job.
Is
Thank you.
Yume still flopping?
Yeah, Yumi's in a mess.
I will put Marguerite down now.
But we're both
Oh.
stopping Yumi, so you probably.
Okay.
Okay, so who's
Keep an eye
doing the
on
stopping
the-
Yumi trick? You two? Can you
Us
both
two.
do a contested?
I'm doing the ether.
Okay, so
Yes.
you're doing that. So it'll be strength test for you,
Oh, I might
which will
need
make
to
a
do
difference
Yeah.
versus your strength,
Might
please,
need
and
to
they'll
do
make a
shout
difference as to
out.
how easy it is for you
More
to do your one.
Yeah, it feels bad to say I'm knocking somebody out, but I am.
Well, more
I
she's,
have
she's
advantage,
spasming,
right?
not
Yes,
her
you have
open
advantage.
Three successes.
3 successes.
One
She's not
fail.
conscious
Okay,
either.
so the difficulty for your test to get this in place is 6.
What sort of
Melee
test,
brawl
sorry?
test.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say
You want to
she's
call
all
for
over the
help?
place.
No.
No, as you're like,
I'm
can just
Birdie,
sit
Birdie,
still.
help
Okay,
me.
and
Oh, wait,
Alemenway.
wait.
Oh.
Can I technically use strike to stun on this?
Not unless you're literally hitting her on the head. That's strike to stun. Strike to stun is trying to
Why
knock her
don't
It
out.
doesn't do damage though, does it?
Why don't I
Pardon,
just
if
come
you stun
over?
her, I mean a little bit of damage.
I mean, only a little bit.
It's still difficulty 6 though, so.
Shall I just come
Well,
over?
Yeah, why don't you?
Yeah.
I'm going to
Put
place
her
my
down,
weight
go over and help.
I'm going to come
Okay,
over.
so that'd be both of you can do contested. You do your one as well.
Is
You
this
do have
just-
advantage.
Just strength.
No.
3 fails.
Well.
Oh, that's really bad.
Oh,
How do you do?
is it
Bad
worse than
fails.
3
3
fails?
fails?
96.
Okay, yeah, you just failed. But failed by quite a bit. Okay, yeah, you did better.
Stop helping.
The father's trying to strain out of your grasp as Gerhardt looks on, looking slightly. She pulls up, looks over, and is confused as to what's happening.
Alamed will say, the priests have gone mad.
Again.
You can try again.
Okay.
One side or the other is going to eventually win. There wasn't a thought you got your one. as well.
Yay, 3 successes.
100.
Oh wow,
Nice.
you fumbled. Okay, so yeah, you knocked yourself unconscious
Oh
again.
dear.
No, I failed.
I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
Oh, is it melee brawling?
These
no,
are
just
contested strength.
We're just
Oh,
doing
okay.
contested strength.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I got 3
Bang!
successes.
As blood spills out from where she's
She's so small,
smacked
she's
her
not
head
tall.
onto the ground.
You might have
she's
advantage,
still, but she's still now. She's chilled out.
Well, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
she's unconscious.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
All right, that I can fix.
Yeah.
She's already on
Patch
4
up her
wounds,
wounds.
so.
Yeah, I got.
Splinter her finger.
Yeah. loads.
Leopold made a very good point. Because I'm assisting, do I have advantage?
No.
Oh.
No,
Well,
you just
well, that's
just one or the other will
Yeah.
get.
Fine.
Yeah.
Right.
So, whew. Calm. The father passes out. He was actually unconscious through all of that.
Mhm.
His body was just reacting and then just gives up.
I'm curl myself.
As in the corner, Marguerite is somewhat wide-eyed, just looking a little shocked to even be here.
Are her robes still in the room?
Yeah, we'll have.
I've got a cloak.
Nothing's in the
So
room.
she can have. I'll put a cloak around her.
Is
Oh,
she-
wait, I've got something for this. I've got a warm blanket.
The super special
a
elf
super
blanket!
special elf blanket that's really light but keeps you really warm.
Love it!
I'm going
And a poncho. One size fits all.
The gunslinger should have the poncho.
Yeah.
definitely not that.
Pull that over
He's
her.
got the mustache.
Oh, wait. I've also got a silk pillowcase.
An absolutely essential
It's just
component.
a little random. Everything else I'm like,
In the background.
survival kit. So, what?
It makes it, you put it around the survival kit, and it's like you're sleeping on the princess's chest.
Things just got weird.
Leopold wakes up, knocks himself unconscious again.
You managed to put him down to the side. He stopped. His skin is lacerated in several places where it was smacked a couple of times against the stone. One of his hands looks a mess. You're got one finger that's bent right back, like right back. It's pointing upwards. Which she's unconscious, so it makes it much easier for you to try and set it.
Yeah.
You're gonna need to do yourself a lower medicine test first.
Medicine. I like medicine. It's good.
Okay, just pass or fails all I need.
5 successes.
Okay, that's more than good enough. Okay, for you to then pull it back into place and then bind the two of them together using the other finger for the split. Okay, binding that into place. So this hand is, in fact, 50-50 it. Could be your right hand. Because I believe she's right-handed. Unless she's
Yes.
left-handed. But I believe she's
I've
right-handed.
never
Yeah.
said.
So
Low is
you can choose,
low is right.
right?
8, so left hand.
So left hand, good. Okay, that's that bound out. That hand is not unusable, but it's close to it. So if you try to use anything two-handed, we'll all laugh at you.
Okay. Unless it's finger guns.
You're perfectly set up for that. Hey, Ulrich, you're not entirely sure what happened with channeling what was a surprising quantity of Girin. The fact that she took all of the Girin straight into her is shocking. The fact it was absorbed is shocking. The fact that you can't really see any of it anymore is the most shocking part of it all. You're not entirely sure what's going on there. She is sitting wide-eyed. You have obviously subdued her. She's out for the count now. You've fixed her up as you're beginning to flick your eyes open. So let's now break down what he understands of it as he moves into his prayer. And he starts to shakily pray. He doesn't.
That seems about right.
He doesn't understand, hence seeking some form of penance as he sits there trying to figure out what occurred there.
I'm just really worried because I have to enact pray actions. Does that mean I have to roll the dice?
Yes, you do.
How long was it for? How many times?
It was like D10, wasn't it?
I think it was the next D10
Yes,
rounds.
next D10 plus sin points. I've now only got 1 sin point though, so that's something.
Okay, so it might be very short.
6 rounds.
So 6 rounds, that's a lot of potential pretest that could give you another rash.
So I just quietly roll
Yep,
those now?
quietly roll those.
So
All right.
first one, we're fine. Second one,
I'm actually keen to know.
we're fine. Third one, we're fine. Fourth one, we're fine. Fifth one,
He's only got 1 sim point.
we're fine.
As
Final one.
long as he doesn't roll something 1.
Oh, it might be a fail, but it's definitely not a 1. It's not a wrath
Okay,
of the gods.
feels okay.
But-
Feels fine.
But I think it might be bad. I'd just like to know for myself. Yeah, no, I passed them all.
Oh, you passed them all.
Well done.
Okay, so the father will be
11
praying,
successes on that last one.
attempting to understand
Yeah.
what was going down, and
I think also to apologise.
Yeah.
that wasn't, you think, Sigmar.
It was whoever this is a shrine to.
Maybe. You don't know.
Or
Or the one that was
Or-
punishing her
Yeah.
and you interrupted.
Okay, so on your side, I would like to have an intuition test.
Okay. 63. Let's see. Intuition. Oh, exactly. 63.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Nice.
then that wasn't Ronald.
Fun. Okay.
Gain 1 sin point.
What?
You didn't lose 1. Gain 1 sin point.
That's
You
rude.
didn't lose 1 either,
ooh.
because that wasn't Sigmar. But you gained it after all the rules.
Well, that's something.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you win some, you lose some. As you wake up with a headache and an incredibly sore hand, Marguerite in the corner, you having covered her up as she just sits there.
I'm just like talking to her. And,
Yeah.
like, you know,
Birdie's just going to sit
Yeah, but-
alongside
yeah,
her, so she's
we're
got
like,
Gerhard wants to marry someone else.
Show your face.
is her
Don't
hair
worry, it's for
needing
social
brush?
advancement.
Mhm.
Would you like me to brush your hair?
She says, no.
I'm gonna.
That was grandfather.
we guessed.
We know. Leopold saw.
He's been captured. I could see everything he could see. I could hear everything he could. He was keeping himself alive using me.
Where is he?
I believe he's just gone to the palace. He's not there now, though. He's gone underground. I can't see him anymore. Last I saw, he was with them, beastmen, that captured him.
Rat-faced beastman.
Mm-hmm. They were talking to him. They have. I think, she says as she looks up, I think they've stolen his rune fang. And that is where we draw the episode to a close.